Hello, everyone. How you guys today? Surprise. Surprise. I told you I do these sometimes when I feel it, and right now is one of those moments. Let me just get this link real quick and post it in the community area, so hopefully people will get it quicker. So you guys understand why I'm doing a part 2 to this, okay? 1 second, I'm getting links. That way you guys can get up in here while I'm doing that. Go to community. All right. What's up, Aaron? What's up, Jewel? D-Rock? I decided I'm gonna give some slaves some heads up of what's about to happen with these new FHA regulations that they can't see. The majority of slaves can't see, right? So I'm gonna give you guys a heads up, and you could take the advice. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's totally up to you. And what I'm giving you is what is called my mathematical opinion. All right, just make sure you got that's clear. The information that I'm going to share with you is my mathematical opinion. Okay. All right. And that works two ways, since because math is never wrong. So it's really never an opinion. But when you're throwing it out there for slaves, you got to say my mathematical opinion. But slaves don't know you can't have an opinion with mathematics. So I stay safe right there. It's like a blanket. What's up, Live? What's going on? Welcome to a part 2 of this FHA new guidelines. I want to point out from a debt-free perspective from somebody that lives outside the debt matrix. Okay, so you guys can see it for what it is. All right, we're going to get started. My name is LJ Young, and I'm a 100% debt-free motivational speaker and personal finance educator. I help people become financially free by helping them mathematically see outside what I call the debt matrix. And the debt matrix is where slaves live. Now, there's two kinds of slaves. There's unconscious slaves and there's conscious slaves. Unconscious slaves don't trust math, and they don't know they don't trust math, okay? Unconscious slaves believe they're homeowners with 30-year mortgages when I can prove it to be not true with mathematics. That's unconscious because they don't trust mathematics. Conscious slaves were once unconscious, found the SMD channel, added up their savings minus their debt, hit equal, and they chose to believe the calculator. You got to choose it. You see the calculator's answer? You got to choose to believe it. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true, right? Now, those are conscious slaves are like, oh man, if I'm in the negative, that means I am a slave. That means I'm owned. Yes, that means that's true. Then now they're working very hard to do whatever it takes, selling whatever it takes to get to zero. Zero equals freedom. Zero means you own yourself. Freedom is an asset. That was me. I was what you call in the debt matrix, the high value man, the 6-figure earner, kept my body tight, kept looking good, 6-figure college educated, this and that and bloggity, blah, blah, blah. But I owned absolutely nothing. Nothing. Sure did. I got to this thing, what they call the high value person supposed to be. You get there, which I did. And I said, something's missing. You know what was missing? I was in debt. Yeah, I was earning 6 figures, but I was double that in debt. That means if I'm double my salary in debt, that means I'm a 6-figure earning slave. That's what that means. That means nothing more. Woke up, became conscious, believed that all I did was choose to believe, found Dave Ramsey. Dave Ramsey said, hey, man, take the math that you learned in elementary school and apply it to your finances and you'll win with money. And that's what I did with his baby steps. Sure did. But what I also learned, it's just about mathematics. If it doesn't make mathematical sense, it cannot make financial sense. It cannot. So when I took what Dave Ramsey taught me, to strip out the religion, because religion has nothing to do with mathematics. Math doesn't care what religion you believe in. 1 + 1 is going to equal 2. No matter if you're Christian, Muslim, it's still 2. It doesn't matter. And then I even knocked off the part where he says, when you pay off all your debt down to your mortgage, start putting away 15% away for retirement. But according to the laws of mathematics, if you have a mortgage, you don't have 15% of anything to put anywhere. So no, you don't do that. You pay off your house. Why would you pay off your house? Number one, because millions haven't. That's number one right there. That should tell you, right there should tell you why you should pay off your house, because millions of people haven't. And all those same millions of people call themselves homeowners. Those are all unconscious slaves. That was me. Sure was. Woke up, found I start getting out of debt. Didn't realize I was a slave until I got to zero. Yeah, to be free, you don't have to be financially free. You don't have to have millions of dollars. All you have to do is get to zero. Then you own yourself. Freedom is an asset. Once you own yourself, you turn around and like, oh man, you look at all the slaves and you say, I don't care about the opinions of slaves. But I also see it's a necessary. The majority must be slaves for the system to work. They must be. That's how it must be. And the one thing I love about our economic system, it's a choice. You're probably thinking, what choice? You either choose to believe mathematics or don't. That's it. You want to be wealthy? Trust math. If you don't. The system is not doing anything to anybody. It's just in place and it says, hey, you want to play? Yeah, these are the rules. This is the type of money we use, these green pieces of paper, and this is the only type of paper we use. What about all that cryptocurrency? They're making all kinds of, we don't give a shit about that. Who cares? That's imaginary. We're talking about the physical stuff. You see what I'm saying? That's a difference. Okay, cool. And as long as you trust math, you'll do A-okay. All right, let's do it. So now I'm free. Created SMD channel. Here I am talking to you on the mic. Changing lives. Now, I'm going to do a part 2 to this because I want to give a heads up to a certain type of slave. And this is the type of slave that used to be me. I was the type of slave that I kept my credit good. I always paid my bills on time. I never had collections. I never had people after me for money, you know. My credit score was always good, and I made 6 figures, and I was college educated. No criminal record. No, nothing on my record. Everything's clear, so I'm good to go. But when I reached this goal, I was in debt, and I was a slave the whole time. I knew something was wrong when I was in the debt matrix. When I followed all the rules of the credit game, right? I knew something was wrong. I just couldn't put my finger on it. You know what it was? It was stress. Stressed, caused by debt. Sure was. That was it. I couldn't put my finger on it. But once I got rid of the debt, now again, this is after the fact. I'm just taking you guys back. I didn't know I was carrying around the stress of debt. I just thought that was normal. I thought everybody had debt. And debt comes stress, right? But once I got out of debt, that left my shoulders. I was like, whoa, what was that lifted off my shoulders? Stress? Stress from what? Debt. Stress is a vibration. You know how you can walk in a room and just feel somebody, you can look at them and see their stress? That's real. How do you think that? You think that's imaginary? That's not imaginary. You can feel somebody being stressed, right? You won't feel that from SMD family members because we don't have debt. Now, I'm here to answer that question for you, so you don't be wandering around the debt matrix like I did, trying to look for the answer amongst millions and millions and millions of unconscious slaves that don't even know the answer exists. Don't even know it. They're just wandering around buying shit and eating shit. Clueless. I'm talking to you. Nobody, you want to ask a question, but you don't even know what question to ask. You're just like, man, I know something's wrong, but I don't even know what question to ask. I'm here to give you the answer. All you have to do is trust your calculator. That's it. That's all you got to do. For those of you that know something's wrong, Add up all your savings, including your student loans and your credit cards and your tickets and your bloggity blah, whatever it is, savings minus debt, and hit equal. If you want to know what the missing piece is, all you got to do is believe your calculator and you'll be free. And then you will clearly see our economic system is a choice. It's not doing anything to anybody. It's just there. Okay? Now, you guys wandering around that something's wrong, you're going to be bombarded with a whole bunch of unconscious slaves pushing the new FHA guidelines down your fucking throat. They're going to call it a blessing. They're going to even tie it to Juneteenth. Go read the comments. Every video is talking about the guidelines. Go look at the comments and see how many people tie it to God and Juneteenth. What the FHA guidelines got to do with Juneteenth and God? Nothing. FHA mortgages are for slaves. That's who they're for. If you trusted mathematics and you looked inside the contract of an FHA mortgage, the calculator wouldn't even understand what numbers you're putting into it. The calculator probably would stop you and say, "What the fuck are you? What are these numbers?" Now you may think that since they're lowering, changing the thing, like they used to go by 1% of your entire loan balance. So if you had $80,000 in student loan debt, they would go, hey, that would be $800 or something like that. Now they're pushing you slaves to income-based repayment program for some unknown reason. I don't know why they're pushing you guys over there, but I'm sure there's an explanation for it. And then so you can go back and report that you pay $1 on whatever report this is. I don't know what some bullshit they made up. So then they will go by what you put on there. But what you guys don't understand, what you're telling them, you're saying, hey, I don't plan on ever paying off my student loan debt until I'm dead. I'm going to pay it until I'm dead. But you don't understand that you can't buy a house when you have student loan debt, slaves. You can't. That's impossible. They're going to shove that shit down your throat every single. Now, I'm going to stress this to you so you can understand, because you ain't going to hear this on any other channel on YouTube ever, never, nowhere, ever. If you come across a channel talking about these FHA guidelines are a blessing, are a good thing, or they're selling you a product, okay? Because they're not good they're only good for slaves. First of all, FHA mortgages are for slaves. It's a subprime mortgage. Why do you think it called it subprime? Any mortgage will make you a slave. Let's go all the way back. Okay. Even if you could be approved for the very best mortgage in the United States of America, soon as you sign the papers, you are now a slave to the bank until the bank gets their money back. It's that simple. Now, if you believe you really you really believe that if you put $1 down on as you're paying your student loan debt, do you know what that says? That says I'm gonna be a slave until I'm dead. That tells the banks that if you can't even pay off your student loan debt, what makes you think you're gonna be able to pay off a house? You're not, and they know that, slaves. Now again, this is a choice. Me telling you this I don't want it to change. Half of you guys can't even hear me. That's why I said I'm only talking to the people walking around in the debt matrix, just like I was, knowing something's wrong, but you can't put your finger on it because you can't ask any of your friends. Why? Because they're all unconscious slaves. Do you know how wonderful our economic system is if you're just on the correct side of it? As soon as you get on the right side of it, it's like, oh, that's why all those rules and laws are in place. Gotcha. But when they come out with product like that lowers the, because you're not really paying attention. So I try to show it to you guys with mathematics so you can understand. Okay. So let me give you an example. If you have $100,000 in student loan debt and you can't get a house because of it, okay, right now, say like before the new guidelines change, you had $100,000 in student loan debt, you're trying to get a house, but you can't because it's too high or something, whatever, right? Now they lower the guidelines, put your shit in IBR, and then say you're paying $1, and then they go by the dollar. Now all of a sudden you magically can approve for a $300,000 house? That doesn't even make any sense. Now, instead of being $100,000 in debt with your student loan debt, now you're $400,000 in debt, and you walk away believing you're a homeowner with a subprime mortgage. You have no idea what you're saying. None, zero. Now, I want you to pay attention to all the ads that are going to be telling you about these new FHA guidelines. Watch how many so-called fucking financial channels start telling you how good this is, start praising God, and then start tying it to Juneteenth, to slavery. Oh, it's slavery, all right. You better believe it. Marking the end of one and starting the beginning of another right now. Soon as you do it, because you guys are going to do it, slaves. You guys are going to do it. You better believe, because they already know you don't want to pay back your student loan debt. You can't. Especially right now, you showing the fuck can't. You get caught up in the house buying frenzy. Ain't nobody buying home, slave. Anybody, this is how you know, okay? This is all you got to do. Anybody you see buying a home, you ask that person, did you pay cash or did you get a mortgage? If they got a mortgage, who the fuck cares? Oh, I just bought a home. Listen to the words. I just bought a home. Then you turn to them and say, did you buy that, or did you pay cash, or did you get a mortgage? Oh, I got a mortgage. You'd stop listening to them because they use the wrong word with what they're saying. You didn't buy anything. You financed it, slave. Now they lower whatever the fuck they do, lower the percentage rate thing. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. And the reason why I'm cussing, because that was me. I feel insulted when I see stuff like, for example, when I see stuff like this, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you, okay? If I was still in the debt matrix, I would have fucking flailed for it. Why? Because I already had made up in my mind that I was just going to keep my student loan debt forever, like everybody else around me. Everybody around me, keeping student loan debt forever, working at jobs for 30, 40 years with student loan debt the whole time. Are you insane? They lower it because they know you guys are going to jump in because you think you're going to be missing out on something. When you see when you see all your friends buying houses and you see it on TV and stuff like that, all you got to do is log into your bank account and see if you can you jump in on the frenzy? No, then don't worry about what's going on outside of you, because all you got to do is ask your friends, hey, what type of mortgage did you get? As soon as they say FHA, you better stop listening to them. Every channel, again, I'm going to say this one more time so you can understand. Every YouTube channel you come across, because put it this way, if you already been entertaining this, you know how the YouTube algorithm pays attention to what type of videos you click on and what type of ads you click on. When you're clicking on FHA and credit card offers and secure credit cards, guess what the algorithm knows? It knows that you're a slave, so it's going to send you even more of that bullshit. If all the shit that comes to you on YouTube and Facebook, and if you have never ever right-clicked and say, hey, don't show me this. This is irrelevant. If you've never done that, they know they're reaching to the right person. Because when that bullshit starts to come to me, right-click, irrelevant. Why? Because it doesn't mean anything to me. And then the algorithm he's obviously not a slave, so let me stop sending that stuff to him. So if you're a person getting these offers from these people, man, that's why, because you're a slave. And if you got time, go and count how many YouTube channels, how many YouTube channels of so-called FHA. They always like to thought that, oh, I'm a realtor, I'm a this and that, and I've been doing this for 40 years. And then they start pushing FHA. It's not what you think. Now, again, let me make sure I say this. My feelings on what they do and sell to you are irrelevant. If they're selling you an FHA mortgage, that is business. That has nothing, that doesn't make them a bad person. It doesn't make their information irrelevant. It doesn't make it sound like they're telling you lies. No, they're telling you the truth for you. Are they telling you the mathematical truth? No, they're not telling you. I can say that openly because it's true and I can prove it. They're not telling you the mathematical truth. They're selling you something that's not, put it this way. They're selling you something that's not mathematically true. It's not true. You can't buy a house with student loan debt. So what are you talking about? That's impossible. According to the laws of mathematics, you can't buy a house when you have student loan debt because there's only one way to buy a house. That's cash. There is no other way to buy a house. You want to know who's slaves? All you got to do is just listen to them. Listen to a person say they bought a house with a 30-year mortgage. Just listen to them. Oh, yeah, I bought that. No, you didn't. You can't say that to them, though. Don't say that to them. And if you're a person thinking that you're going to get a house because the FHA you know why the longer your debt is in there, they own you. Do you understand that they own you for life? I posted this one woman, I forgot her name, inside the community area of the channel, right? I went over to her. I'm like, hey, it sounds, I said, just like this. This is coming from the owner of the channel too. You got the owner of the channel. I said, hey, I went over to her page. Under the video, I commented, it looks like the new guidelines, FHA guidelines, are pointed to people that are planning on never paying off their student loan debt. You know what she said? You know what she responded with? Sally Mae is going to have to get that money from at my funeral or some shit. She's openly admitting that she's going to be a slave until she's dead. She's basically saying, I'm never paying off my student loans. Do you guys understand? That's exactly what they want you to do. They don't really want you to pay them off, because if you paid them off, they wouldn't make no money. If you think you're coming up, if you think you're getting a house with student loans older than your children, you're highly mistaken. They're about to cram this shit so far down you guys' throat. Just pay attention to all the commercials that are going to be coming out and all the YouTube experts talking about it. Everybody's going to be an expert. They want you to be in debt just like them. It's hard to watch, but it has to be that way. I know it sounds weird because I always got to flip it to the other side. All those experts that are going to be teaching you guys to put your student loans in IBR and making you guys buy a house while having student loan debt, those people are important. Those people are important. I promise you, they're important. All the people, the ads that are going to be cramming the FHA new guidelines down your throat, they are all important. They all must work. That's important. Again, without slaves, none of this would work. And one more time, the system is beautiful because it's all by choice. You choose what side of it you want to be on. It's totally up to you. You want to be on the wealthy side? All you got to do is believe in the laws of mathematics. If you don't, you'll be on the other side. On the other side, where millions of people call themselves homeowners when it's not mathematically true. All of them do it. Millions. You think if all those millions of people woke up and said, oh, shit, I'm not a homeowner, the housing market would collapse. I don't want that. You think I want that? I don't want that. And you're probably thinking, if you're new to the channel, you're probably saying, then why are you saying it out in the open? Because slaves can't hear me. They don't understand. You guys think I'm joking. They don't understand what I'm saying. They have no idea what I'm saying. Do you guys know slaves add the equity of a house they don't own to their financial portfolios? You know slaves do that? That's crazy. So when they open up their portfolios to somebody that don't know, like, yeah, look at this, I own this, and this equity is this and that. No, you don't. You own none of that stuff, slave. None of it. Oh, this is how much equity I have in my house. The bank's not involved? No, I got a mortgage. Oh, okay. Then what the fuck are you talking about equity? You can't own the equity in a house that you don't own. That's impossible. What's up, Dennis, Mosman, Amina, Omega? What's up, Nicer? Do you know how bad these guys, man? And even this, now let's flip it. I'm gonna flip it to the other side. Them lowering the percentage rate or whatever the hell they did to make it seem like, oh, we'll just take what you put on your report or wherever you put it. You know how many slaves, you know how many of you guys are going to do that? Millions of you guys are going to do that. Millions. Why? Because the economy, you lost your job, everything's changed. Of course you ain't got no money to pay your student loan debt. Slaves, of course. Of course you're going to do it. You're probably already thinking, oh man, you know what? I'm sure you've made up in your mind that you're never paying back your student loan debt. And you're probably thinking, oh, this is probably the only time I'll be able to get a house. Because if they change it, it's the rush little factor. And do you guys think you can hurry up and buy a house? You can't hurry up and buy a house. You got money? No, then it don't matter. But it must be that way. You guys must believe, especially with you guys with FHA mortgages. You guys are in your own type of the debt matrix. Is just, you guys are just in your own financial ecosystem. You guys pay for all the mistakes you make with these subprime mortgages. You guys pay for them all. The money still comes from the banks, okay? But the banks are guaranteed by FHA. So if you guys fuck up and don't pay, they still get paid because they already got you with PMI and whatever fees they throw in that paperwork that you guys never read, ever. It got to be that way, though. It has to be. I mean, when I look at it personally, when I see two sides of it, hey, this is what's going to happen if you do it. Then when I come on the other side, the business side of it, I go, oh, wow, that's a fucking masterpiece. Oh, so you guys lower the percentage, then the slaves are going to be happy about it. Hell, they might even tie it to what happened to Juneteenth. This is just my speculation. Okay, that's my opinion. Because they just read the comments. Oh, Juneteenth, and they're just tying it together. One has nothing to do with the other. And then you guys are just going to jump, or you guys are going to hurry up and jump overboard because you think the houses are running out. Put your shit in IBR. They are pushing you guys to IBR for, I just don't know why. But I'm assuming that if you go to IBR, once it goes to that IB income-based repayment program, you guys ain't never getting out of that. Once you're in it, you'll get kicked out because you'll fuck up, which starts you guys over, but you'll be so deep in debt from all the interest, you will have no choice but to do it again and again and again and again because you will never be able to pay it off. You'll never be able to pay it off, ever. Now, see, this is what I want, like the Great 23. This is what I want you to understand, though. When you say FHA is a complete legal scam, it's not a scam. FHA is not a scam. If they came up to me and said, hey, LJ, would you like an FHA loan? You know what I would say? No, it doesn't make any financial sense. No, thank you. That's what I would say. So who are they scamming? People that don't trust mathematics. That's not even a scam. That's their fault if they don't trust math. That's your fault. That's your fault. If you don't trust math, that's your fault. Listen, let's make sure you guys understand how it really works, okay? All right. financial scams will never make, they cannot make financial sense because I'm going to say it slowly. Financial scams cannot make mathematical sense because it's a scam. The scam is to take money from you, right? If it's designed to take money from you, that's minus. That's a scam. It cannot make mathematical sense. It cannot. That's why when you see financial for the people in debt, that's why financial scams seem so complicated. They're not. They're just, you could just listen to somebody and tell if they're scamming. If you get out of the debt matrix, and you'll know. And I want to take it to another level so you can understand. Say like there's a financial scammer, but that financial scammer has been in debt all of his or her life. They don't know that people like me can see them. Why? Because they believe debt is just part of life. So they don't know. You could have a person scamming millions of people and they themselves are in debt. They themselves are in debt and they believe debt is part of life. So they don't know. They don't know. Now, can you imagine the level of people, the millions of people? Like if they said, now let's take it to a different level. If they denied everybody, they said, if you have student loan debt, you can't get a mortgage. What do you think would happen to the housing market? What do you think would happen? It couldn't exist, slaves. It couldn't exist. It can't exist without you. Now, when you flip to the other side, you can't do nothing but respect that, man. That is just total, and it's all by choice too. That's what's the crazy part about it. It's all by choice. You choose to be a slave. I chose to be a slave. I was a 6-figure earning slave. I would have fell for that FHA bullshit. I sure would have. Why? Because I didn't believe I could pay off my student loan debt. That's why. Or think about the millions. Oh, that would take me forever. It would take me years to do it. By that time, I'll be this age. You don't have a choice, slave. Stop thinking you have a choice. You don't have a choice. It doesn't matter how long it's going to take you to pay off the student loan debt. You don't have a choice. You have to do it. If you keep walking around here thinking you have a choice whether to pay your student loan debt off or not, you don't. You just think you do. Your whole financial portfolio is all off and you don't even know it. I guarantee you, most of you people that think that you own the equity and stuff you don't own inside of your financial portfolio, you're going to come, I'm sure of it. You come across a person like me that's in some kind of financial area and they take a look at your shit and just look at you and say, you have no clue of what you're talking about. None, zero. You think this is all yours? You don't own that house. They can't tell you that. You coming in, signing FHA mortgage paperwork with the brand new iPhone 12 Pro. You're telling those people everything they need to know about you. You got car payments, credit card payments. Because now, when I just talk about this, I'm just talking about the mortgage payment and you. I'm not even including all your car payments and your credit card payments and your tickets and your bank child support. I'm not even including all that. Then they come up with this debt to income ratio. They're telling you what you can and cannot do with your money with some kind of percentage rate that you could never understand because you don't even know what DTI even is. Why? Because you don't even know how much debt you're in. You cannot know your DTI if you don't even know how much debt you're in, slaves. That's why you think FHA new guidelines is a blessing. Is that you? Is that you? You can't wait, huh? Oh man, I'm so glad now because before I couldn't qualify because I had $200,000 in student loan debt. But now that they changed the guidelines, I can be approved. You sure can, slave. They can include you too. $200,000 in student loan debt. You go out and get a $400,000 house. Now you're $600,000 in debt. Calling yourself a homeowner. Pay attention to all your Facebook and Instagram friends. They're all going to do it. If they're your friends and they're talking about FHA mortgages, that's why they're your friends. I'm going to say that one more time. If your friends have car payments and have FHA mortgages, that's why they're your friends. Oh, I know that's a hard pill to swallow. Trust me, I do. I get it. Sorry, reading this thing. And check this out. Imagine how many people that had lost their job. Now they're thinking going back to school. That's why you guys are seeing so many online universities. They're casting their poles out in the ocean, hoping to get one of you fish on the line. Because you guys, hey man, it's part of the programming. You think your college education is what's going to do it for you. No, you're just in debt. Now you're about to go deeper in debt. And then that's when they're gonna really start sending you those extra checks when you get your student loan debt. You know how they send you extra money. Hey, this is for whatever. They don't give a fuck. Here you go. And guess what you're gonna do? You're gonna take it and you're gonna spend it because you think it's extra. Extra from where? Extra from where? Well, extra what? Extra loan? Yeah, extra loan. That money ain't free. You didn't read the fine print, did you? Nope, you sure didn't. And if you get a FHA mortgage, check this out. If you get an FHA mortgage in this economy today, you ain't never getting out. This is what I remember one time, because I had got an FHA mortgage. Okay, let me make sure you guys understand that. And I remember I lost the house. It got flooded out or something, and I lost it. And I remember just like, FEMA came in, paid me a certain amount, which I gave it to the bank. And then I said, what about the balance? And they said, well, they don't, when you have an FHA mortgage, I said, yeah. They said, well, they don't really come after you for the balance if you have an FHA mortgage. I was like, woo. Oh, okay, great. But this is what doesn't make any sense. Why not? Why don't they come after you for the balance? Because you already paid for it. If you have an FHA mortgage, you guys have paid for it 10 times over. You don't even know. That's why they don't come after you, because you already paid for it. Only slaves get FHA mortgages. Only slaves do that. The bank is guaranteed. The bank is the money that loans. The bank is the people that loan you. But if you don't pay, the FHA guarantees them, which is who? You, slaves. You. Isn't that brilliant? That's absolutely. When I talk about this stuff, I don't want you guys to think I'm talking about this in any kind of negative connotation. I don't want you guys to ever think that when I talk about our system here in the US. It's a choice. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The whole time, all I had to do was just choose. All you got to do is just choose math. That's it, Linnell. Choose math and you'll be free for the rest of your life. Sure will. Choose yourself. Or you trust math, period. Just trust math. That's it. You come out of it, you'll see these loans and you'll see what their purpose is. Oh, people that just don't get it. Yeah, that's who they're for. People that do get it and still get a mortgage, they're only accepting the best mortgage in the United States of America because if they have to do it, they didn't want to do it. But if they have to do it, it's only going to be the best one in the United States of America. Whoever has it, we'll figure it out, but whoever has it. I'm talking to the ones that are wandering around, can't figure out, why am I can't get ahead? Why is everybody pressing me to get a house? Why are they telling me that I better hurry up and get it now because house prices won't be this again? Those are slaves talking to you. Do not listen to them. Anybody telling you saying, hey man, you hear about those new FHA guidelines? This is what I want you to say to them. You got your student loan debt? I guarantee you they're gonna say yes. Why do you think so many people are attracted to it? Everybody with student loan debt. That's why it's attractive. Student loan debt. That's why it's so appealing to you. If you didn't have, think about it this way, slaves, okay? If you didn't have student loan debt, would you care about the new FHA guidelines changing to drop in percent? Who cares? Because they're not talking to you, they're talking to slaves. Slaves that, because this is, let me tell you what the income-based repayment programs really are. That's where slaves go to financially die. That's where slaves go that have financially given up on themselves, totally given up. If you agree to the terms of that, you have financially given up on yourself. Hey, yeah, you get in this program, you're going to have to do what we say and work where we tell you to work for the next 10 to 25 years of your life. Do you agree to that? Sure do. I want the house that bad. I sure will. You agree to those terms? Sure do. And you got to cross every T and dot every I. I don't care. You could be 5-10 years into it. If you miss this piece of paperwork, you got to start all over again. And guess what? The interest keeps accruing while you're doing it too, by the way. Let me let you agree to that? Yeah. And then they just do it because you guys want this house so bad that you cannot buy when you have student loan debt. That's why they get you on the other side. Oh yeah. You want to pay $1? Cool. That interest is going to stack triple time. Sometimes I even think back when I was in the debt matrix, I used to complain about how much my child support was. Right? I used to, oh man, the course be killing a nigga. God damn. You know why it was killing me? I was in debt. If I was making 6 figures and had no debt at all, child support wouldn't have been shit. That would have been nothing. Nothing at all. Nothing. It was high because of me. I would have fell for that FHA stuff, man. Because this is what's going to happen. You guys are going to see it so much because it's just repetition. If they keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it, you guys are going to believe it because all your friends are going to be talking about it. And then you're going to be talking, oh yeah, so-and-so was telling me about that. Oh yeah, I heard that. I was watching on TV. Yeah, I know. They put it all in the places where you guys are. That's the true purpose of like algorithms on computer stuff, because they know what you guys are like when you guys are amongst yourselves. Because there's one thing, and you guys don't know, slaves. You guys don't know. You guys show one side on social media, and then when you turn the cameras off, then it's back to real life where you ain't got no money. In the background, you're clicking on stuff like credit cards. How can I expand my credit card limit? How can I apply for a credit card? How can I get this earning? How can I get my checks 2 days before I get paid? This and that, all that stuff you're clicking on, and the algorithms are just learning. They're going to send you more of that shit because if you're clicking on that shit, you're obviously a slave, obviously. If you're financing new cars and you still got negative equity in the previous car, and you're thinking about how to roll negative equity of a previous car into a new car loan, they're going to send you all the people that do shit like that for slaves, because that's slave stuff. You'll never escape it because you're bombarded with it because you are asking for it. They don't send me stuff like that. They don't send me stuff like that. And when they do, they'll sneak it in. They still test it. Don't get me wrong. They still test it every now and then. Oh, this is another thing. This is how I know too, right? Sometimes I will click on like these new like crypto cards coming out, or these like pay cards that are coming out. Do this and you win $500 and all this other stuff, right? I always click on those cards and then read read what they're doing in there. Because I want to know what they're doing to the slaves. So I'll go read the fine print, which slaves never read, right? So I'll go and read it and say, oh, I want to go see what they're going to do to you and how they're going to do it. So I go and read it. And then also next thing you know, I start getting more crypto cards and fast pay cards and quick loans and getting. Then I have to say, okay, irrelevant, because when it starts coming like that, I already know why they're sending it to me because I'm clicking on the stuff to read it, but they don't know the purpose of. They think I'm needing it, but that's not what I'm needing. Live says, I was in the IBR program in my unconscious slave days. They kicked me out due to missing too many payments. Yep, that was one of the best things that could have. Yeah, exactly. Once they kick you out, you could be in that program for 5-10 years and you mess up for something, because what you're saying what you don't know, slaves, between 10 and 25 years, you're promising them that you're not going to have a financial hiccup. Nobody can promise that. Nobody can promise that. But you're promising it to them. And then when you fuck up, then you're going to start all over. And then you got to start the whole program over the whole time. Your loan is collecting interest. You'll never get out, ever. What's up, Greek surgeons? So the so-called elite study human psychology to program behavior, become slaves. And that's another. And see, that's another. I mean, I could see. The whole system is psychological. Okay, I get it. I get that part. That is, somebody had to design this. That's like next level psychology. Okay, how do you create something? Like money doesn't even exist for slaves. Gold, silver, paper money, it doesn't even exist for them. But to psychologically make them believe that it does, that shit right there is hands down amazing. That's amazing. What's up, True Light? Blaze says, I was considering FHA, but I know I can stack 50K in a few years. Yep. Well, see, and if you're considering an FHA, that tells me a lot too. If you're considering an FHA mortgage, that tells me there's something more going on in your finances than what even, and you're just telling me one line, but if you're considering that, there's something more in there. What's up, Omanique? I was an IBR. Oh, you was an IBR yourself, but started earning student loan debt during Dave Ramsey. Okay. LJ, that woman that commented on your thing, she's the owner of the channel. She is the owner of the channel. Ain't that crazy? She's giving out, she's giving out financial advice. Go into my community. If you haven't already, it's a recent post. I forget the woman's name. Go in there, click on it, watch the video. Now, remember, what she's doing is legal. She's not doing anything wrong. She's not giving out bad advice. She's not giving. I mean, I say that, but I understand. It's like, what do you mean, Lunel? She's not giving out. Let's put it this way. She's not giving out correct mathematical advice. We need slaves to sign up for FHA mortgages. So we need women like her saying that this is a good thing. If you were disqualified before, now you're able to get one. We need people to keep saying that, because without slaves, the housing market could not exist. Oh, gotcha, Blaze. Okay, gotcha. All right, cool. Thanks for clarifying that. Thank you. Also, Big Short prediction, LJ, you should talk about it. Like I said before, I thought a housing market crash was going to be coming, because I didn't know how it was going to stop, but now I do. Okay. The proposal with Biden, this is my opinion, the proposal with Biden with the 40-year extensions, and now them lowering the FHA guidelines so more slaves can get in there and start financing houses with subprime mortgages. They're going to prevent the housing market crash without spending a dime. They're going to make the slaves pay for it. Slaves are going to pay for it. Why they keep them mixed up, thinking it got something to do with millennials and Gen Zs, and they make up all these stupid names. Math doesn't care what generation you were born, okay? Math doesn't care if you're a millennial. Math doesn't care if you're a Generation Z. You don't have to. Math doesn't care. It doesn't care if you're black, white, 60 years old, 5 years old. Math doesn't care about any of that. They're dramatically slowing it down. Okay, yeah, I'm waiting to see. Honestly, I don't know. Okay, so before I was like, oh yeah, this housing crisis is coming, right? But now, okay, I look at it different now. Okay, what about the rent now? What about the people that haven't paid rent? They don't own shit. They can't kick them all out, because if they kick them all out at once, they're gonna wake up. That's too many people to kick out. That cannot happen. Okay, that simply cannot happen. So I'm waiting to see what they're gonna do to prevent that. Because think about it. I want you guys to think about it. Slaves don't know. Slaves think if people get kicked out, it's going to be just in the poor areas. That's what they believe. Okay, they don't really understand. It got nothing to do with where you live, right? If they allow all the people get kicked out at once, they're going to say like everybody got at the same time, got kicked out on the same day, and all the furniture got put out on the street. Okay, let's just do the extreme that everybody thinks in their head, right? They're going to drive through the nice neighborhoods and see people in the nice neighborhoods with their shit out on the street. And then they're going to be like, well, wait a minute. I thought you were rich. Why do you think I was rich? Because you live over here. They don't know. They ain't got nothing to do with anything. They would wake up. That cannot happen. So I think just like the proposal President Biden did, something else is going to come out of it. Something's going to come. That cannot happen. Scare, scare, scare. Like, listen, scare, scare, scare. Come in and save. Scare, scare, scare. Like, oh, imagine all the people that were seeing this housing frenzy. They all had student loan debt, right? But they were so buried in student loan debt, they couldn't qualify. So they're sad. They're sad about it. Then all of a sudden, FHA comes in and swoops in with the big red cape and say, we're going to lower the restrictions. We're going to allow you to put $1 on there and we'll go by that. These guys are like, oh my God. Oh my God. Right around Juneteenth, they think they were safe. No, they didn't. They're just preventing the housing market crash, slave. That's it. And when I tell you guys this, that's absolutely, when I see stuff like that, that's absolutely remarkable. Absolutely. Nothing I can prove. Nothing. Let me tell you something. You can see it, but you can't prove it. Nor would I really want to try to prove it. I don't have to prove it because math makes it so. Let's just put it that way. Math makes it so. But anyway, it doesn't matter. Nothing I can say, hey, this person did that. You can't prove it. If you're making car payments, if you're getting the FHA mortgage and you're happy about the the FHA guidelines, don't worry about what I just said. Don't even worry about it. Don't even worry about it. That IBR is just, you guys have no idea. That's locking you guys right into place. You know how many millions of you guys are going to go do IBR? Income-based repayment program, something like that. I don't know. They got different names for student loan programs, whatever, right? They got different names. But once they get you guys in there, you ain't getting out. You get in there about a good 5. You see, you probably already had you're already done anyway, because if you're going for one of those programs, you probably already been in your student loans probably about 10 to 15 years already. Your student loans, guarantee you this. If you're entering IBR, I guarantee you your student loans are your oldest debt out of all your loans. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. And if your student loans are your oldest loans out of all your loans, that means you've been giving up on ever paying back those student loans for a very, very long time. You get a person like that inside of the income-based replacement program, you're a guaranteed slave till death, guaranteed. And when I figure out whatever that IBR is, whatever that is, one day I'm going to know what it is. I'm getting in on that shit right there. That's guaranteed bread. Guaranteed. Oh, don't worry about something like that. That ain't offered to slaves. I promise you that. Something like that is not offered to slaves. That's guaranteed money. You can't bankrupt it. It's going to be with the person until they're dead. Every person that has it will be paying until they're dead. Sure will. What's up, Alicia? Income believing it's real. Right, you're right. I'm glad you did that too, Omanike. I'm glad I listened to myself back then when I was in the debt matrix. I'm so glad I listened to myself to get out of debt. Oh man, you have no idea. You think I would have saw? I would have saw it just like you. I would have been calling it a blessing. I'm so glad FHA did that. Oh wow, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. And those of you that are already in one of these student loan forgiveness programs, I strongly suggest you do this. If you have a house and there's equity in that house, I strongly suggest you refinance your house and pay off your student loan debt. Strongly suggest that. Strongly. Because if you're already in it, I feel sorry for the people that might have been in one of these IBR programs for 10 years. Just imagine being in one of those programs for 10 years, or say like 10-year mark was they were supposed to forgive you, right? You get to about 8. And then you lose your job. They kick you out. You got to start all over again with a bigger number. Because remember, while you're in there, the interest still accrues. That's why they keep letting you in. They just keep letting you start all over and over again because they know to a point there's no way you're getting out. The older you get, our student loan debt become very, very less. Can you imagine? You're making a lot of money. So in the beginning, you're making a lot of money because you're younger, right? That's when your student loan debt is the cheapest. It's the lowest because you just got it. You're going through the years, you start climbing in your career, you're making more money, but you're steady buying bigger houses and cars. And at the same time, your student loan debt's going up at the same pace as your career, as your salary that you're probably earning. And then you're going to get to a point to where you're going to get older and you're going to stop making that kind of money. It just happens. That's the way it is. If you let it be that way, let's just say, if you let that happen, it's going to be that way. And then as your salary is going down, as you get older, your student loans continue to rise, They never stop. They never stop rising. Nothing stops student loans. Have you noticed that? An economic crash. Listen, a virus came in and swooped in and stopped the whole economy. Took away 401k money, people's retirement, all that shit. What happened to student loan? Nothing. Student loan debt is the cockroach of the economy. You could blow that bad boy up, student loan's gonna be right there, shaking itself off. I'm still here. And credit report agencies. They do you slaves so dirty. Don't you see that? You see it, right? SMD is here to help you. Each time you hear me giggle or something, I'm really laughing at myself because I be thinking, how could I be so stupid to be so college educated smart? How could I be so stupid? I have no idea. That's how powerful the debt matrix is. It's powerful, man. And it's all psychological. You better believe that. All psychological. First, you got to stop looking at movies, right? Because the movies are doing their best way to illustrate certain things to you, but it's not like that on the movies. That's just the best way of them showing you, trying to show you what is. Then it says, I always wonder if paper money is worthless, why is gold worth anything? It's just a shiny exactly, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's just shiny. Gold, it's not worth nothing. Slaves don't know that. Slaves don't know silver, gold. That's why they believe in cryptocurrency, because they don't know. The majority of people that have FHA mortgages, they also invest in cryptocurrency. Anything that's imaginary. Slaves believe they putting away money for retirement while having student loan debt. You can't do nothing. If you have student loan debt, let me tell you something. If you have student loan debt, not only can you not buy a house, you can't put away money for retirement. You can't save any money. You can't invest. You can't do anything. Why? Because you're in debt. When you go on vacation, if you have student loan debt and you're going on vacation, guess what? You're just a slave on vacation. You have to come back to the what? Plantation. You have to come back. You have to come back. That's why you have to put in your time. You're like, listen, you go to work. They said you get, let's just say they give you 2 weeks a year for vacation, right? But maybe you can't take it all together. And you only can take it when they approve it. But you have to earn that vacation, by the way. You don't get it for free, right? You don't get that. You don't get the vacation. You have to earn it. You have to put in X amount of hours to earn this vacation. But you can't use it when you want to use it. You have to put in for vacation. And then they'll let you know if you can take your vacation days on the days that you really want to take them on. You get it? And the only reason why you accept that and think that's normal, because you probably have an FHA mortgage. That's why. With student loans that are older than your FHA mortgage, that's why you think that's cool. That's not okay. Been a while since I've been on. What's going on? This is a great opportunity right now for people to get out of debt quickly. It is, but all most see is that they can delay, not defer the debt. Yes, exactly. The mindset. Yeah. What slaves don't really understand during this time right now, they don't really understand that this is a time that they can actually get out of debt. They can actually free themselves. Like right now, like say like somebody was upside down in a house already, right? So say like they was just barely, say like you were barely hanging on making your payments right now, and you had a subprime mortgage. Right now is the time to sell. You could sell plus get enough money to pay off your student loan debt and get out of that FHA mortgage and pass that shit on to another slave. You don't have to keep it. While they're in a frenzy, paying over asking price, give it to them. You want to pay more on this house than what it's actually worth? Yeah. Hey, it's sold. Here you go. And not saving anything. Exactly. Save, invested, 45,000, 80 minus $80,000 in student loan debt equal nothing. You don't save nothing. That's an illusion. This is why money is an illusion. I'm going to use the same example so you slaves can really understand something, okay? That it doesn't make a difference. Say like you had $45,000 cash in your hand. Cash in your hand. Do the same formula that's on the screen right now. I want you to open the calculator, put $45,000 minus $80,000 and hit equal. Now here, I always tell you, if you want to leave the debt matrix, or you're going to stay in the debt matrix until you're dead, okay? This will be hard. If you had the $45,000 in cash in your hand, you $45,000 minus $80,000 on the calculator. Hold the cash in one hand, the calculator in the other. Hit equal on the calculator. The calculator is going to say, you don't have any money in your hand. And then you're going to turn to look at your other hand and you're going to see $45,000 in cash. And your mind's going to say, yes, I do. Because I can feel it, touch it, I can smell it, I can even go spend it. And then you turn the other way and look at the calculator. The calculator said, I said you don't have $45,000 in your hand. Now, here's the glitch. If you want to leave the debt matrix, you must believe the calculator. If you don't, you believe you have $45,000 in your hand, you stay in the debt matrix until you're dead. You get it? I hope you get it. It doesn't even matter if you get it. I don't care. People like me don't care if you know this or not. It doesn't matter. It's a choice. If you don't believe it, thank you. I appreciate you. If you are one of the people that believe you own the equity in a house with having a subprime mortgage, I thank you. You are important. The people that are pushing the new people that all the YouTube channels that are saying that these new FHA guidelines are a good thing, thank you. I appreciate you all. Thank you. You are important too. Even though what you're saying doesn't make any mathematical sense, you are still important because look at the views. Just go to people that are pushing this shit. Look at the views. That's how many people there are on that particular channel. And that don't even mean that person's only subscribed to that one person or just watch that. They watch them all. That's the glitch in the debt matrix. Now, I like to reiterate this so everybody understands this because I already know. While many of us have gifts, I have a financial gift. The difference between me and others, I can prove my gift. The difference between me and any other financial motivators or whatever, I can prove my gift and I'm never, ever, ever, ever wrong, ever. Why am I never wrong? Because I'm always on the side of mathematics. Always. And if I'm on the side of mathematics, I'm never, ever wrong, ever. If you are adding the equity of a house that you don't own in your financial portfolio, you are wrong. You are, not me, you. When you go show your financial portfolio to a person that knows, you're showing them that you're telling them that you own, you're showing them that you believe you own something and stuff that you don't even own, and you're telling them that you do. You don't even know what you're saying. That's your financial portfolio? A whole bunch of stuff that you don't even own? Yeah, okay, whatever. When you go fill out a credit application and they always say, check this box if you're a homeowner. They just want to see if you're a slave. If you check the box and you have a mortgage, you're a slave. You're not a homeowner. That's just maybe a box to say, make sure, in my opinion, that's just a box to say, we're just checking to see if you're a slave and if you know it or not yet. I don't know. You're not a homeowner. Have you noticed all the credit applications? They always ask that. Are you a homeowner? Are you a homeowner? Hey, okay, whatever. Whatever. If you notice that every time you open your phone and your laptop and you're getting bombarded with this new FHA guidelines, because you're a slave. You got a secured credit card? Yeah, that's slaves. Give them money. Check this out. Secure credit card. Give them money that you have in your hand they hand you back a piece of plastic, and then they charge you interest on the money that you give them. Ain't that that's good? That's absolutely, ain't that brilliant? That's absolutely brilliant to me. Absolutely magnificent. That's magnificent. I can only imagine what's inside the paperwork of an FHA mortgage. I can only imagine. I can only imagine the cut that these guys get on signing you up for a FHA mortgage. I can only imagine the cut they get from that shit. You guys they got you guys so focused on home ownership or being a homeowner, you don't care what they're putting in that paperwork. And again, the YouTube channels that are going to be selling to you, thank you. Thank you all. You are important too. I don't care if you're selling it straight for business. I don't care if you're selling it because you just don't fucking know. I don't care. But as long as you sell it to slaves, I don't care. Because without slaves, the housing market could not exist. It couldn't exist. Thank you. If your student loans are older than your children and you think you're a homeowner, thank you too. Thank you. It's crazy that switches turn on in your mind when you reach zero. Having done it multiple times, I honestly think it's scary for slaves to contemplate being free. What do I know now? You know what that, you know, honestly, Kevin, it's like that's a big pill to swallow, right? Can you imagine being a person that has been paying on the house for like 20 years, but they've refinanced it a couple times, but they've been paying on the house for probably a total of 20 years. And then they wake up and realize that they haven't been a homeowner the whole entire time. And then they would look back and say, what about all those payments? And realize all those payments don't mean anything. That's a tough pill to swallow. Very tough. And I get it. But if you ever want to be, but I want to explain this part to you. Once you realize that you are a slave, I mean, literally, you don't really understand literally that you're a slave. You don't really understand that because you think you can get up, get in your car, go down to McDonald's or go on vacation, drive down the street. You think you're free. You're not free. You're still owned. This is what I want you to do so you can understand the meaning. Log into your online credit report thing on your phone, download the app, whatever, right? Log in there. I want you to see a list of all your owners and the money that you owe them. So when you log into your credit report, okay, you're going to log in. I don't care about the credit score. Log into your credit report. I want you to go in there. There's going to be a big number that's going to pop in your face. You put a negative in front of it. That's your net worth. That's how much money you owe businesses. And then I want you to go through your credit report, all three of them. And then I want you to write down the list of all the businesses you owe. When you go on vacation, wherever you go, I want you to log into your credit report thing on your app and see if that list changed while you're on vacation. And then when you're done with that, you come home and you go away for the weekend, and wherever you go, log into your credit report thing and see if that list of people the businesses that own you change. They're going to be still the same because if you go on vacation, you got to come back to the plantation, baby, because you're a slave. Slaves got to come back. You got a limited time, 1 week, 10 days. I don't care. Whatever your master tell you, you got to be back in 10 days. Okay, well, 10 days, 2 days traveling. You're not really getting 10 days vacation. Dennis says, I was on a flight today, and at the end, they asked everyone if they want to apply for the airline credit card. Nonstop. I know. Every time you get on the airplane. Oh, hey, sign up now, in flight only. You only get this deal in the air, like it's special. You only get this deal in the air. Once we land, it's in, and then you'll come in. You can bring a friend. You get 10,000 fucking fake miles and this and that. They already know slaves work 50 to 60, 70 hours a week. You're never going to use them, but you showing the fuckers going to use that credit card, slaves. Yes, you are. They know that. It's just business, though. It's just business. It's nothing. When I'm on the plane and I listen to that, I just laugh. I just laugh on the inside. I'll be like, "You crazy." Oh, the deal's now while we're in the air before the wheels touch down. Ooh, I better hurry up. No, that's for slaves. Ain't no rush. I'm not rushing to get in debt. You don't tell me when I should be getting in debt. If I want to get in debt, I'll choose the time and when I want to get into debt. Okay. You want to stop living in that world, man? You want to stop listening to all these financial people on YouTube telling you things that make absolutely no mathematical sense ever, nowhere in the world? You want to stop? You want to stop following that? You found the channel. I can give you express pass. I can just lay your shit down. You want to avoid just listening how to do it? You talk to me. I'll lay down the plan and show you with mathematics. I say, you follow this and you're going to be free. If you don't, you won't. Guaranteed. Just I'll list the math down and say, follow this. Work equal 2 weeks. I know that's some funny shit when I think about it now. Then you go, you get your vacation. Everybody knows what the good days to go on vacation. You know, hey, I want around Christmas. I want around these. Everybody wants that. And then only the people with seniority get that. Then what the fuck is good for vacation if I can't take the vacation days when I want to take them? You can't, slaves. That's what happens when you're a slave. You don't have you do have a choice. You can stop being a slave. You can stop being a person at work, being jealous of hearing somebody bought a house. You have no idea. All you got to say, when you say bought, you mean you got a mortgage? If they say yes, who cares? What, you gonna be jealous of somebody that took on $300,000-$400,000 in debt? And you're jealous. I got a phone call today from someone offering me a plan to help pay my debt. I told him that I don't have any. He said, "Oh," then I hung up. Exactly. He ain't heard that before. You know how many calls I get all the time? Hey, your credit card's compromised. The IRS is after you. I mean, you guys have no idea. These scammers have a million things. They're gonna find one. Why? Because you guys are in debt and you are in fear. You will believe anything that a scammer says right now. Fast money, work for yourself. They always come out, hey, have you been affected by COVID-19? Yeah, everybody has, slave. Stupid commercial. That's so stupid. Have you been affected? Yes. Whoa. How did you know that? Because the whole world was? Has it been hard for you to pay your bills and pay your rent? How'd you know that? By the moratorium, the United States worldwide moratorium, the United States moratorium. Did you know that? Millions of people out of work and unemployment. Did you guess that? They just say they say what they already know, but you just don't know it. They say that to everybody. Oh man, they just do you guys so. Oh, this is so bad, man. Now, I'm not talking about the legal things. I'm talking about the scammers, because scammers be coming up with some stupid. They be coming up with some dumbass shit, man. They be just making the shit up. Hey, this is the IRS. Yeah, you owe $5,500. Oh my God! Now we want you to go down to the CVS. We want you to grab 5 cash gift cards. What the fuck? And people be going to do that shit. Hold up. You think the IRS is going to tell you, they're going to call you, tell you owe them money, but they want you to pay them on gift cards from Target? You got to stop, slaves. I can't be jealous of someone up to their eyeballs in debt just to look like they're borrowing time at someone else's. Yeah. I mean, again, it's important because you got to remember, this economy could not exist without slaves. Canada's economy could not exist without slaves. If whoever's economy is like ours, it's the same thing. They just use different money. When you go to that country, they say, hey, we use this paper here. Okay, thank you, Canada. And you come back to the US says, hey, we use this paper here. Okay, cool. This is what we do here. Okay, these are the rules here. All right. All you gotta do is, okay, so you listen to, like, you see what's happening here with the lowering of the FHA. I guarantee you Canada has something similar, and they're gonna do something similar just like that. They'll be like, oh shit, unless they, even if they've probably already done it, they're gonna lower some percentage rates so some people, some broke people there can get homes and all. Same thing. People in Canada buried in student loan debt too. It's just different. But same thing. Owned. I hope you guys are paying attention, because they're going to be bombarding you with get rich quick schemes, FHA, buy a house, NACA, all those subprime mortgages. No, that was other stuff that I named in there. I'm just saying subprime mortgages included. Oh, man. When you're on the sidelines just watching, you're like, man, I don't know who created this. Hey, but hands down to you. Hands down, you deserve a clap. You deserve every single respect. If you can make millions of people tie stuff that, I mean, they be making, I mean, they start adding color. Oh, this is the opportunity for black people. And it's like, what that got to do with any, black ain't got nothing to do with it. That's just like saying, hey, only black people got student loan debt. Everybody has student loan debt. Slaves, every ethnicity has student loan debt. As soon as you find yourself saying, well, the percentage of black people have student loan debt, who cares? You guys are all slaves. It don't matter. When you start breaking up in pieces, that's your problem. You better stop doing that. You're just comparing yourself to other slaves. You're a black slave and you're comparing yourself to a white slave or Chinese slave or a Russian slave. It doesn't matter. If you're in debt, you're a slave. Math don't care what ethnicity you are. That's part of the illusion, thinking that math cares what color you are. If you're a man or a woman or whatever, math don't care. Math says if you're in the negative, you're a slave. If you're not, you're not. I mean, it says my cousin's looking for a house and was telling me that everyone is scrambling and rushing her to buy. Yeah, to buy it because there won't be any left. I told her that's a lie. What'd she do? Look at you like you were crazy? Ain't that crazy how they do it? First the housing frenzy goes crazy. And then they magically lower the restrictions or change the guidelines on the FHA mortgages. Ooh, just in time. Just in time. Oh man, I would have missed it. You sure would have, slave. So that's why we opened the door for you. Because without us opening the door, you couldn't do it. But since we did, come on in. The red carpet's laid out for you. And do you see the limits of FHA mortgage? Hold on for a second. Do you see how much money a slave can get with only 3.5% down? I mean, I took a look at these FHA limits. I'm like, oh my God, are you serious? You're giving a slave that much money? Yeah, because they're never going to spend it. You know what they're going to do? Because they know you slaves, you slaves, if they say like this, you are now approved for like a $400,000 house. You know what you guys would go do? You guys go look for a $400,000 house. You're going to max that shit out the same way you do your credit cards, slaves. The same way. They know that, slaves. But on the flip side, if you are doing that and you did that, thank you. Thank you for doing that. I don't care if you believe me or not. It doesn't matter. Robert said the best thing, owning myself is the best thing I ever did. My outlook on jobs changed completely. Yeah, everything changes. Once you own yourself, everything changes. Everything. There are no limits. As you guys hear me speak, you guys hear me speak out loud of what's going to happen. I already know where I'm going. I already know because I know that I know something that millions of people don't know. I know that. It's just a matter of time. That's it. It's just a matter of time. I mean, it says, yeah, she actually listened to them. Oh, she did. And this one woman she knows was telling her that Biden plan for the 40-year mortgage was good news. I told her that is a lie. That is also a lie. Oh man. Well, is she still your cousin? I mean, is she still your cousin? Andre said they couldn't get enough of them with removing student loan from the credit. Oh, they couldn't get enough. Oh my God. I didn't even think about it like that. Have you slaves noticed? And I know this is going to come to a shock to you, okay? But have you slaves noticed that when you logged into your credit report, your student loans didn't show? Did you notice that? You probably were thinking, what happened to my student loans? You probably didn't even question it because you wasn't paying them anyway. So I guess it didn't matter, right? That's for you to be approved for more house slaves. So now, since that wasn't enough, because some of you are still getting denied because you're so fucking buried in student loan debt, they still couldn't get approved. So now with removing the student loans debt off your credit report and lowering whatever guidelines they lowered, you can now be approved. Makes total sense to me. Makes total sense. This shit has looked like I forgot what's the guy's name that orchestrates the orchestra. He's standing up in front. There's a specific name for him, right? The person, like if you're at an opera, right, and there's a guy up front with two sticks and he's waving them. I don't know what the name of that dude's called. That's what it looks like and feels like when I imagine what's happening. It's like the horns are blowing, but they're not really getting the reaction from the audience that they want. And so he raises the other stick and he does something over here. And then all of a sudden that intrigues the audience. Whoa, where did that come from? We haven't heard that sound before. Oh, what? Look, changing the guidelines of the FHA mortgage? You haven't heard that. That's the deep bass. Deep bass horns. That should work. Yep. You guys are pouring in imagine you guys are water in a jug and they're just pouring you into a fucking sink. The conductor. Thank you, people. Thank you, Dale. Jaws. I was just talking to Andre about this classical music. That's what it seems like. It's like classical music. The conductor's up front. Okay, it's not going. Okay, that's not going to be enough to slow down this housing market crash. Let's do this. Then all of a sudden, all the people are, oh, thank God. And it landed on Juneteenth and just in time because of slavery and blah, blah, blah. And FHA guidelines made you say all that? No, they just changed the rules. Nothing to do with God. Somebody just went into an office, a whole bunch of people, and said, "Hey, let's do this instead of that," and then they changed it. No, that has nothing to do with God or Juneteenth. Nothing. But if you notice, again, I know you guys don't really understand it, but if you go under the comments of all these type of places talking about this, watch how many people are saying that, and as the people read the comments, they start to believe it has something to do with this. Oh yeah, man, slave. What they don't understand that they're creating slaves. You put your shit in IBR, income-based repayment program, you are guaranteeing you're going to be a slave for life. Guaranteed. Oh, now they say, oh, it's good. Look, just in time for June. Like, I don't know. They be trying to make an association with the two. We will forgive your student loan. Just sign for this mortgage at 5 times more plus any losses can't be. Mm, 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 mm. And just like you said, Andre, since they haven't been paying rent, you guys think you have more money to put down on a house because you haven't been paying rent for a year. So you think you have money. You haven't been paying student loans. You've been getting unemployment money. You haven't been paying rent, and you think you have money, and the student loan debt is not on your credit report, and you think you've been stacking cash when you haven't been doing nothing. The conductor, I don't know who the conductor is. I don't know who that is. And I'm not saying it's a person. Exactly. Oh, Monique, they praising Jesus. And all I say, thank you. Conductor, conductors. I don't know who you are, but hey, bravo. Whoever you are, bravo. Bravo. I'll tell you right now, if I was in the debt matrix, I would have never saw it, ever. Bravo. Bravo. Believe that. Don't believe me? Go look in the community. Click on the couple of people I put in there black people. I put in white people because I don't want you guys to think this has anything to do with color of your skin when you're talking about FHA mortgages. Look at the black people talking. All you got to do is just do this. Inside of YouTube, Google, whatever you want to do. You type in FHA guidelines, new guidelines or something like that. Just type that shit in there. 1,000 people will pop up. Anybody, any of the people telling you that it's a good thing, any of them telling you that's a good thing, I want you to understand something. If they're telling you it's a good thing, they're telling you something that doesn't make any mathematical sense. I promise you. Okay. Now, mind you, some are doing it for, all of them are doing it for business, but some of them are doing it because they really believe in it. Whatever. Yes, you are, Gabriel. You better believe you are. You already are. Andre says they will give the disenfranchised an opportunity to achieve the American dream. Now, don't complain when you fail. Don't complain when you fail. We gave you a fair chance. Oh, man, that's fucked up. You know what? I'm not even going to laugh at that. You know what? Let me pull that off. That's not even funny, Andre. That's not even funny. PCA. Man, I take that laugh back. That wasn't funny. That's fucked up. You guys know how bad they do you? They did me. I'm embarrassed. They did me like that. They sure did. Sure did. Took full advantage of me. Full advantage of my non-trusting of mathematics. Sure did. You hear those people talking? Oh yeah, you better hurry up and get this, girl. You know, the one I just posted on. You should just listen to the way she talks, like she's your friend or something. Oh yeah, you better come get this. You better not miss out. You better. What are you making all those sounds for? I don't get it. What you doing all that dramatic acting for? That has nothing to do with nothing. Slaves giving slave information. Oh, and then you read all the comments. Oh, yeah, thank the Lord God. Oh, man, great information. You guys have no idea what you're saying. Zero. And every now and then on some of these channels, you can tell where they put people in there to say certain shit. right? You'll go into the comments, you'll see regular people, and then you'll see something that they obviously told somebody to go in here and do this or say this or log in with a different account to say, hey, I went with so-and-so, man, and he said he helped me save thousands of dollars and he got me this and he told me that. I was like, oh yeah, okay, whatever. Oh, he did all that for you with an FHA mortgage? Oh, he did? Shut up. God damn, this shit is so obvious. And now I'm a homeowner and he got me 2 properties. I'm making rent. Oh, you got 3 mortgages and you think you're making money on a profit from a rent? Shut up. A slave will have their own FHA mortgage on their own house, take out a second mortgage, a HELOC, and then take some of that money, 2 mortgages on one 2 subprime mortgages on one house, take another FHA mortgage on a rental property, put a renter in it, and then they'll turn around and tell you they're making a profit off the renter's paying that mortgage. No, he's not, slave. Are you insane, slave? Are you absolutely insane? You're insane. Don't worry about the forbearance. You can make it up when you sell the house. See those words? That's not even funny. I'm gonna stop laughing. That's not funny. Those are the words they use in articles by people. Then they put they work for the so-and-so bank of this and that. They have this financial degree, which don't mean shit. When you see those names and letters behind people's names in the finance, who gives a fuck what those letters are? They don't mean nothing. If they're in debt, they're just slaves with job titles. That's it. That's it. I listened to 3 minutes of that video in your community. It's ridiculous. 1% towards your FHAs. No, less than 1%. This is what they're telling them they could do. Now, the original guidelines said, hey, the guidelines are going to go by 1% of your total your student loan. So if you have $100,000 in student loan, they're going to go by $1,000 because that's 1% of the 100,000, right? Now, instead, they will say if you put your shit in income-based repayment program and then say you're paying on the dollar, the loan place will go by the dollar. They'll go, your DTI will go by the dollar that they see that you're making towards the payment. So that way you can qualify for more house. Because by leaving the 1%, you got to remember, by leaving the 1%, they couldn't afford to get a house because 1% was too much. Their student loan debt is too high. So they cut it in half. So if you had $100,000 student loan debt, you have to pay $500. Now you can get in. Basically, what you're saying is say, by the way, I'm never going to pay off my student loan debt. You can come and take all this money because if I haven't paid off my student loan debt and you clearly see me getting an FHA mortgage, some prime mortgage with no money, you clearly understand that I'm never going to pay off this house. So come financially rate me. I obviously don't know any better. Why? Because I'm signing up for an FHA mortgage. I'm sure they're going to come out if they haven't already. Oh yeah, by the way, not only did we cut this down to do this, we're going to extend the FHA mortgages to 40 years. I don't know if that's coming. I don't know if that's already here, but I guarantee you it's coming. They're going to say, "Hey, we just changed the guidelines again. We're going 40 years down. Not only are we cutting the percentage rate down that you could say you only making $1 and we'll use that dollar in your DTI. We're going to extend it 40 years. That's just my opinion part. I don't know, but I think it's coming." There goes the conductor. If this doesn't work enough to slow it down, you watch 40-year FHA mortgages. Yep. Yeah, you can come on, Gabriel. You don't have to ask. That's the link for anybody can come on. I just skimmed through the article about this, and yeah, they want more loans to be financed, more debt for people, and what's going to happen if these Well, they are going to default. It is strong. Paying your student loan. Thank you for your contributions. You're better. For you guys, this is when I kept hearing IBR, IBR, IBR. First thing I thought, why are they pushing people to IBR? Once they have you in there, once they have you in the student loan forgiveness program for about a good 5 to 7 years, you are theirs, period. Student loan forgiveness programs are where unconscious slaves go to financially die. That's where you guys go financially die. So I don't care what, if you're in the student loan forgiveness program right now and you have a nice house and you have a nice car, you're insane. Everything you're driving and living in is an illusion. Not paying for thank you, fit your future. Yeah, exactly. Don't pay them. They really don't want you guys to pay the student loan debt off. Okay. I keep telling you guys that they don't want you to pay it off, but if they can get you to the point to where you believe that there's going to be some kind of student loan forgiveness, or you still believe you can buy a house with not even paying off your student loan debt, that's your problem. They're going to be shoving for the next few weeks. I think they got to like August. So what are we? We're June 21st. I think they got to like August 16th or something. Or something about that August date. I'm not sure yet, but some kind of deadline. You know how many of you slaves are going to be cramming into the loan places? This kind of, you know what's so funny? Now I think about it. You know, I was going to the store yesterday and I looked to my left and there was a line out the door at this realty place. And I thought to myself, why would there be a line out the door at a realty place? This is before I knew about this new guideline. I bet you that has something to do with that. Because I've never seen that before. Why would there be a line outside of a realty building? I remember driving by looking at it, I was like, that's weird. That's exactly what I said to myself. Why would there be a line outside the realty place? Now I get it. Student loan, it sure is. Yes, they do. If you're young listening to this, and when I say young, late 20s, early 30s, and they're trying to pressure you to get a house with an FHA mortgage, I strongly suggest you stop yourself in your tracks. You're following slaves. You're following slaves. Don't do it. Don't do it. And I strongly suggest, if you don't know how much debt you're in right now, and just be honest with yourself. If you don't know how much debt you're in, you're a slave. If you turn to your partner and say, honey, do you know how much debt you're in? And they turn to you and say, I don't know. You're two slaves dating each other. You guys are both slaves. That's what's attracting to you, other besides the sex and the love, whatever, which you don't really understand, that you guys are both slaves. You say, baby, do you have student loan debt? I do too. You guys probably both know you already have student loan debt. If you guys both in debt and have student, that's why you guys together, slaves. And if both of you have come to the conclusion that you want to try to get a house and you're happy about the FHA new guidelines, that's why you're happy about the new FHA guidelines, because you are two slaves in student loan debt, happy about the guidelines. You can only get a house because somebody else said so. Somebody approved you there's only one way to buy a house. That's with cash. You save up the money, then you buy it. You don't have to wait on anybody. You don't have to wait to be approved by anybody. You just buy it. Student loans are the only loans, I think, where they do not even check if you can pay them back before putting you in. Yep, that's true. Debt of education loophole where loans are. It's basically like this. This is how I look at student loans, okay? When I signed up for student loans, they said, hey, by the way, if you take this money, you got to pay it back. Yes, I know. By the way, it's not bankruptable. You do understand that, right? Yeah, I sure do. Okay. You can go to school just like the people that call themselves forever students. Do you know somebody that's going to school, going to school? You know why they go to school like that? I know what they're telling you because they're getting all these degrees and they have all these degrees and they're not working in any of the fields that they have degrees in. You know why they're going? Because they can't stop. As long as they stay in school, the payments are not due. That's why they're still going to school. They call themselves forever students thinking they're smart. No, they're just in debt. They can't, because soon as they stop, they have to start making payments. And usually those type of people, they're in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of debt, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I think it's absolutely mad. I think student loan debt, I think that is absolutely hands down. FHA mortgage, subprime mortgages, period. Hands down, that is absolutely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Subprime mortgages are just like, wow. Just like, man, man. Whoever somebody said, okay, hey, check this out. We already know we already know slaves don't have any money, right? So they can't buy anything. So what can we come up with? All right, we're gonna come up with this. First, we got to make them believe that it takes 30 years to pay off one house. Okay, how are we gonna do that? We just come up with a loan. Say you have this loan, but how? But they're gonna know they're not homeowners. Just they will. Just tell them they are. They'll believe it. Just say it enough. Then they'll just say it, and then they'll just believe it. Wait a minute. Hold up, Bob. You mean to tell me we can tell people they own something without buying it first? Yeah. How do you do that? You just keep saying it over and over and over again, and then they believe it. Shut the fuck up. You don't believe me? Watch. Okay, I'm gonna start now. In 10 years from now, you watch. You see how many people call themselves homeowners with 30-year mortgage. Holy shit. They all believe they're homeowners. Sure do. Not only that, guess what else? You're not done yet, Bob. Nope, I'm not done yet either. You raise the housing market prices. You call it equity. You make them believe they own it. Since you already made them believe they own the house, you make them believe that they own the equity in a house that they don't own the equity in a house that they don't own. Get the fuck out of here, Bob. You think they're going to believe that? Hell yeah. How? Just keep saying it. Shut up. Sure enough, you watch. And guess what? Since we own the house, we're going to charge them interest for borrowing money from our own house, from our own bank. Shut the fuck up, Bob. They're not going to believe that. Yes, they are. You watch. Voila. Somebody thought of that. Somebody thought of that. Now, they said, you know what? We're going to also come up with a system, but we're going to give it to people by choice. If they want to be on the good side of it or they want to be on the bad side of it. How are you going to determine that? Mathematics, dummy. What are you talking about? What do you mean? Math is never wrong, ever. The game is smart. In some markets, people with FHA, VA can't win bids. When the housing market slows down, the FHA people will prop it up. Yep. And FHA just gave them a deeper hole to fall into. Sure did. Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Cosmic. This is conductor. It's absolutely beautiful. I just like sometimes I'll see something and I'll stand on the sidelines and things it just doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, now it makes sense why there was a line outside the realty place over here. I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. Got it. Yep. In the meanwhile, they're paying higher taxes and oh my God. They thinking more money is the answer, so they'll stay in debt. Check this out. Listen, they stay in debt. They work more hours to make more money, pushing them up in a higher and higher tax bracket, which they cannot reduce. Why? Because they're deep in debt. They cannot reduce any debt. You cannot reduce your debt. You cannot reduce your tax bracket when you're in debt. That's impossible. They believe they are when they invest in their retirement. Oh, they said I get a tax break. Yeah, that's true when you have money. But if you have no money, you have no money to put into your retirement account. That's why they're selling it to you. That's why they're selling you your retirement in the future, because you can't do it now because you have no money. %47 of people with student loans say they've delayed other things they want to do in their lives because of the student loan debt. Don't let debt stand in your way of your future. Anthony, you better believe it. I like Anthony O'Neill. He's a pretty cool dude. He's the new black man with Dave Ramsey. You know, when I look at first, because I still, don't get me wrong, please, I admire Dave Ramsey, but in my mind, I imagine a lot of rules when it comes to if you want to be a partner with him, you got to go by certain rules. You see the stuff I say here on this channel, I couldn't talk like that with him if I was part of his team. You see the way I speak? I couldn't talk. I wouldn't like those type of restrictions, because he has to go by the the Christian guidelines and stuff like that. So you gotta be careful what you say and what you do. I get it. It's business. Ain't no big deal. And so if Mr. Anthony O'Neill is rocking with Dave Ramsey, you better believe there's some kind of ironclad contract that Mr. O'Neill has to go by. You better fucking believe that. Believe that. Because if they let go of Chris, now I don't even know the story. I'm not a gossip person, but if they let go of Chris because they make it sound like it was due to infidelity or some shit like that. Hey, what's that tell you? Because people do that shit all the time. Look at what's the name, that black dude that just caught messing around with his wife. He's the one, he always making videos in his car and stuff like that. Something happened and he's acting like it never even happened. Why? Because he owns what he has. He don't have to go by what anybody says. Says we can give you a HELOC on your equity to improve your home. Oh man, this is horrible. 401k, free loan to corporation, right? Ain't that crazy? This is what you slaves do, okay? Including me when I was a slave. Your company pays you, and then you take the money and give it right back to them into your 401k plan or whatever you think it is that you think you're giving when you have no money. Now the pension functions are buying real estate. The competition is making the prices skyrocket. Now they need to dump them on somebody before the crash. Yeah, slaves, you guys are gonna get it. You guys are gonna get hold in the bag. Believe that shit. You guys are about to get it. Equal liquidity event for Shell. You know what? Because you think about it, when you can be for years, like the last 5 years, you're probably checking your 401k statements, like, whoa, yeah, man, I have a good retirement, man. Look how much money I got in. Then all of a sudden, something happens in this economy and the stock market crashes, and then they turn and say, "Oh my God, all the 401ks lost money." What do you mean? So all those statements I was looking at for the last 5 years was a lie? Yes, they were a lie. If your retirement is based on outside events, that's the wrong retirement plan. Yeah, exactly, Josh. Chris Hogan. Yep, that's him. He got let go. Again, I'm not a gossiper. I'm only going by what I saw, because unless I talk to Chris Hogan himself, I don't know anything. Unless I talk to Dave Ramsey himself, I don't know anything. Okay, I'm going by what they told us. Some kind of infidelity years ago, and you can't do infidelity if you work for Dave Ramsey. That's crazy. You can't get pregnant. You can't fuck. What? Hey, man. Hey, but that's his business. If you go to a business, right, and he tells you you can't do certain things in your personal life, that is your problem if you want to work with a person like that. You better not get pregnant, because it all stemmed off some chick that worked for Dave Ramsey or something. She got pregnant, and that was against the rules. If you get pregnant without being married, are you crazy? Hell no. Dave Ramsey is a business. That's a job. That has nothing to do with your job and your job performances. You could be the best person at Dave Ramsey. And you mean to tell me if you go and get pregnant without being married, they're going to fire you? You got to be crazy, man. I ain't work for no place like that. That's insane. Nope. Equal forced purchases of overpriced stock. Yep. Chris Hogan had higher ratings than Dave. Did he? I didn't even pay attention to that. I mean, I didn't really pay attention because they both talk about the same things. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, from what I heard, exactly. I'm just saying what I heard. None of this is fact. It started off with some woman getting pregnant without being married or something like that. She got let go, and then she was pissed because I guess Chris Hogan had done some kind of infidelity thing before that. She was like, "What the fuck? Then how I get fired if if Chris Hogan don't get fired?" You know. What's up, Gabriel?
What's up, LJ? How's
Good,
you
man. How
know,
are you?
man, I really wanted to talk to you about because I watched a movie with my family members about this movie about Jim Carrey, Fun and Dick and Jane or something like that. And it's about these two couples that they work like a normal job, and then Jim Carrey gets like a promotion to jobs, and he thinks he's gonna get a promotion, but it's literally to tell everybody that he's gonna get fired. So then he tells his wife to quit his job. So then the movie's basically they're setting stuff because they have no jobs, and they're setting stuff to keep the house good and stuff like that. And while I was watching it with like my aunt and uncle, I'm just like, damn, this is kind of like real life what's happening. I mean, you know you know how slaves like they always want to look good. Like they don't want to look bad. They don't want to look like they live in a bad neighborhood or a poor house. They always want to keep that thing. And it's funny. They say it in a funny way, but
Yeah. hmm No, I've seen that movie. I haven't seen it in years. I have to rewatch it, but I remember that movie. But I remember watching it as a slave. So I think I think I'm gonna watch it tonight as a debt free person. I probably look at it
no,
way
watch it.
differently.
Watch
Okay.
it. It'll because my uncle just let's just watch because like well he came from Mexico. Like they were just come visiting my family, and then they just watches on Netflix. So I'm like whatever, I have nothing. And then when I was watching it, I was like, man, like I know my family members don't understand what's going on, like because Jim Carrey, he's funny because what he does is, they're losing everything, right? And they lost their yards because they have no money to pay their workers. So what he does is steals it from other people to look like they're good, and like
Okay.
you
Yeah, I am gonna
understand.
watch it. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it
No,
again.
like I recommend S&D to watch it because it's like mind blowing because like it's so true in real life that what you really think, let's say a slave loses his job, right? A six figure loses his job, right? You really think they're gonna like not look good, not with good clothes? No, they're gonna keep, with the physique. They're gonna keep wanting to look like they still have the house, looking that they still have a good yard, good car. But in that movie they say in a funny way, but I'm just thinking like, damn,
Well,
boy, this
because
is so
yeah,
true
they'll
in real
keep
life.
going deeper in debt. They'll go in deeper in debt
Exactly,
before they to keep that look. They'll go deeper in debt
exactly.
before. Yeah. Okay.
And
I'm
then
gonna
they
rewatch
start.
it.
Yeah, no, and then to they could gain the money back, they start stealing money. It's a very funny movie. They start stealing money. They get like a very poor car, and they're about to get foreclosed. But then they start stealing money to like have finally the they took the TV off. Like it's so true in real life. Like
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that as a debt
now
free
watch
person
it,
because I've
watch
watched
it.
it
I
when I was in
recommend to
debt.
watch it, and it's funny. Don't get me wrong. It's very funny because
I like
just
Jim
but
Carrey.
like
I like Jim Carrey.
yeah, watch it, but like look at it how like it's touching, like because it's like I can't explain it. It's like whoever creates these stuff like kind of knows like what they do because it's exactly what they do. It's
But they don't.
exactly
You got
what
to
they
remember
do.
that. You got to remember this though, Gabriel. Slaves are not watching it like you're watching it.
Exactly.
They just think it's funny. They think it's just funny, and they don't know it's real.
No, it's true, but it's just, man, bro. It's like if, and it's also I wanted to talk about the thing about the guy with Big Shorts that he predicted that was going to be another crash. But my thing has always been like this. They've been
You talking about that
predicting that
movie,
since. No, no, no. The actual person, Michael Burns. My bad.
The Big Short, that
Yes,
predicted the 2008
the real
one?
life person, because he's a real
Yeah,
investor.
yeah,
He
yeah. Okay,
predicted
yeah,
they'll
I know what
win
you're
the
talking about.
biggest. Yeah,
There's a
he predicted.
movie, but The Big Short is a movie too.
Yeah, my bad. I call him the Big Short.
Yeah,
He predicted we're in the biggest bubble ever. But
yeah.
like they've been saying that since last year, like economists like Peter Schiff, all of that. But I've always wondered, like, okay, if isn't we're in the biggest bubble, when is gonna happen and how is gonna happen? That's what he's
Well,
saying.
well, if I knew what I knew today, I wouldn't have thought whatever the guy that discovered the bubble, whatever, that was
Mhm.
easy to see. I could have saw
No, of
that
course that was
easy.
easy.
That was,
Of
and
course
the
that was
one's
easy.
easy. I thought the big one was coming now until this what I'm talking
Mm,
about. The the new FHA guidelines,
mm,
the the proposal Biden just said.
mm.
That's going to prevent the big ass housing crash. I didn't know what was going to stop it.
That's true, but why would he say that? Like he said that. I remember he said that like I think 3 days ago. And like and then because he said because the stock market went down, the Dow Jones, but that really had nothing to do. But he said it, so like that got me wondering, man. Look at what Biden did with the 40-year mortgages, and also tell me about
The
the.
only thing the reason why I'm saying I think he's saying that is because I don't know what's going to happen to renters that haven't paid their mortgage. I don't know what's going to happen.
Mm,
Right? I don't know the
that's
answer for
true.
that one. I don't know what they're going to do to prevent everybody. Is everybody going to get kicked? All renters are about to get kicked out at once? That can't
Well,
happen.
well, I heard because I have family members in California that the governor he says he's gonna pay all rents that were due, all of them, back
Hmm.
due rent, all of them.
Well, he's got to
That's in
get that, but he's
California.
got to get that money from somewhere.
I
Okay.
know, but that's what I just heard. Like, yeah, like right now, like I think literally 30 minutes while
And
even
that's what he
so.
just said. Is that a proposal?
Mm,
Is that a proposal or is
no,
that a
I just
guarantee?
heard that. No, no, I
Okay.
don't. That I
All
know
right.
of no.
Okay.
But yeah, and this is my prediction. I think the crash is gonna start happening because of crypto. Because you was talking about that too.
What do you mean?
Something
Why
that
you,
no,
what crypto got to do with anything? What crypto got to do with
because
anything?
because like this is my opinion. I have
Yeah.
friends that like they are in Dogecoin, crypto,
Yeah.
and like and there's a lot of people and like it's like a bubble. Like let's put it this way, okay, the things that happen in GameStop, they're day traders, right? So
Hmm.
if like let's say if a market crash, they're gonna get hit. Why? Like if you're doing
Are
this
your
long
friends
term,
talking are your friends that are talking about cryptocurrency, are they in debt?
of course they are.
Why are you listening to them then? Well, who cares what they're talking about?
No, I know. I'm just saying, but I know. Of course, I know that, but I'm just saying that. Like, okay, let's put it this way. I'm saying that I know something's happening, but I just can't put my finger to it. Like, I know there's gonna be a crash. There has to be a crash. Like, I just see it.
Well, see, I thought that too. I remember I was talking
Mm,
about there's going to be a housing market crash. There's going to be a housing market crash. Remember I was saying that?
that is
And
true.
then
Yeah.
President Biden said, "Hey, look what I'm going to do." And I said, "Oh,
That.
that's how you did it. Gotcha."
mm,
Now I'm waiting for somebody to say something about rent. I'm waiting for somebody to say something. They have to say something.
what do you personally think is gonna happen? Because that's
I don't
very
know.
interesting.
That's above my pay grade.
Of course, I know that.
I'm generations and trillions of dollars behind on that pay grade. I don't, but I'd say like this: everybody that can't pay rent cannot get kicked out at once. That cannot happen. So I'm waiting
No,
for somebody to swoop in.
exactly. Yeah, I get that. I know because you're 100% right because if they all get kicked out, they're gonna be like, "What? Why am I getting kicked out? Why is the people from Beverly Hills? Why are people Miami
Right,
Beach?" Yeah, I understand that, but man, bro, that's a lot of rent.
right. Now I don't know
This
what
is
they're going to
very
do. I think
interesting.
that's why he's saying. I think that's why he's saying. Now, housing market crash. I don't really think. I don't see that coming no more. That's drastically
No,
slowed
no,
down.
no. I don't think no, no. I don't think it's because of that. That's what I was thinking, but no. But
It has
man,
something.
like,
It has something to do with the rent. I don't know what the renters are going to
mm,
do because they don't own shit. So you can't get what you're going to do. Give them a whole bunch of money. I don't know what they're going to do.
Nah, they're not gonna let that happen. You know.
They can't because think about it, Gabriel.
No, that they're
Everybody,
not.
if the renters don't pay, the owners they don't get paid either, so they lose too. The owners of the building they don't get. So something has to happen. It has to.
Mm, yeah, that's true, but we'll see.
That's definitely not happening, Kevin. They ain't forgiving nothing. They're gonna do something.
That's what I heard, Kevin, that the government is gonna all run. That's what I heard in the article. I don't know if that's true. That'd be kind of extreme, but that's only California. We're talking about the whole United States.
Right, right. Who cares about the
So
states? So what?
yeah, but
And people, you think slaves are going to read what forgive means to whoever's saying it? You got to go read the meaning of forgiveness for them.
exactly. That's also true. Yes, you have to think of like that too. Dang, man, this is
What does forgive mean? Oh, if you can do 50 push-ups, do some jumping jacks, you can drive your car 100 miles an hour and drive a
uh
Tesla and then crash it and live, and then you're forgiven.
man, COVID man has taught me a lot, man. Dang, bro, this is bad. They do people, man. They do people horrible, man. Oh my,
Hey, but
40
hey,
year
don't talk about my
mortgages.
slaves, man. Don't talk about my hey, don't talk about my
uh,
slaves. We
man,
need
40
slaves.
year mortgages. Imagine. Just think about this, LJ. Imagine having a house and thinking that you own it, and it's a 40-year mortgage. Dang, man, like this is
Maybe
brilliant,
that's
bro.
the
Like,
answer, Gabriel. See what Andre said? Maybe that's the answer right there.
more stimulus? Nah,
More
man.
stimulus.
'Cause,
More money.
it's just okay. More stimulus, but there's people that owe like 6 months. There's people, nah, it could be true. Who
It
knows,
gotta be
man?
listen, it gotta be something. They cannot kick people all out at one time. That
No,
cannot
and I
happen.
understand why. I understand. Yeah, I understand why. That and also I was also going to talk to you. Why do you think they always keep people distracted with cryptocurrency and television? It's to keep them distracted because if they actually
Correct.
like do the research and actually see what's wrong with their lives, they'll easy. I'm assuming they would find out what's wrong.
You don't want people looking in the mirror. You don't want people looking in the mirror. You
Exactly,
gotta keep them
exactly. That's a
busy.
perfect saying. You don't want people. They don't want people to look in the mirror because if they look in the
No,
mirror, they're gonna see something not very good. And
correct.
because it's true, unconscious slaves, they have a nice house, they have a nice job. You
Right.
know,
And see,
if
even with see what Kevin's right here, hyperinflation. Is it you think slaves know what hyperinflation is? Who gives a fuck? They're in debt. It don't matter. Inflation. They put out fancy
uh
names and they say oh, the dollar's not backed by gold, hyperinflation.
exactly
Then
all
it
of
does
that,
you
man.
don't
It's
know
just,
anything because you don't have any money.
man, they do. It's like brilliant. Whoever, like, I know a group of people did this, this. But oh man, this is like, it's kind of amazing actually. Like,
It's
it's like
amazing.
artwork. It's artwork, literally.
I keep telling
I,
people that. It's like a Picasso painting.
exactly. Like, how you gonna explain millions of people that having debt and you could still have a house? And
I mean, think about it. How did they convince people that they could buy a house with no money?
with student loans, with student loans.
With student loan debt.
Oh my God, that
Not even with no money, with student loans too.
oh that LJ, that's a masterpiece, bro. That's like when you're doing a project and you do like the best project, and like it's really like that. Cause how are you gonna convince
Mhm.
somebody
How do you do
that,
that?
like, okay, you could put a down payment. You got 300,000 student loan. Doesn't matter. You could still have a mortgage.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
bro,
You just put
that's
down 3.5%. Don't I have student loans? You don't have 3.5% of that. Yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. You do. Just borrow from your cousin because with student loan, FHA loans, you can
my,
borrow from your cousin and your family members. They don't care if you take all the
what?
money from your family.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
What?
they let you borrow some from your family. They accept
Oh
all slave money, all of it.
my, oh my. You know what? I'm gonna end it there, man. That is, oh man, it's
I
like
can't
I
even
think,
imagine. I imagine you sitting there watching movies with your family. You
oh,
probably
it's,
squirming in your chair. You can't. They're
no,
like,
no,
Gabriel,
I'm
won't
not
you
like
fucking
that,
be
man.
still, Gabriel? Be still. I don't know how to say that in Spanish, but they probably
No,
say,
no, no,
won't you be
no, no,
still,
no, no, no.
Gabriel?
No, it's like I think in my mind, like, okay, cause when I was watching that movie, I think in my mind, man, like that's real. Like I know there's some people that do that. They say in a funny way, like when Jim Carrey loses his job and to keep the physique, he does stuff like steal people's grass yards so he could look good. It's true, but like
Well, what they're
I,
saying, what they're saying, but slaves don't know this. When slaves get desperate, all morals go out the window,
mm,
right?
that's true.
But they think
I
it's
know that's
funny.
true.
Oh, that's funny. They're stealing money. That's how embezzlement happens. That's how people start stealing from the company. They start doing shit like that.
Yeah, man, it's just that movie. That movie's funny, but it's like, like I don't know, man. Some of these movies, man, they teach you like I don't know who produced it is because like they teach you stuff because like that's what a average person would do is have a good job and then one day, okay, poof, they lose their job for whatever reason,
Yeah,
economic crash or whatever, and then they'll do stupid shit like get a PPP loan or rob, they'll do something to keep the physique. They will never go
yeah.
down. I don't know why. It's just
Because
impress
they're
other slaves.
slaves.
No,
Here,
but to impress other
like
slaves.
you'll see somebody in a high-powered position making lots of money, right? And then they'll steal from the company and lose their job. You know why they steal? Because they're
This
slaves. It
is
don't matter how much
slaves.
money they have.
Oh man, bro, this is I can't even explain how like eye opening this is to like let's say you've been on unconscious slave for like at least 2 decades of your life, and then you like listen to somebody like you, and then you have like a mortgage, and then you realize you're not homeowner. Oh my god, I can't even imagine that like
I couldn't imagine
that
that.
mentality after that. Like, damn man, my whole life has been a lie. My whole life has just been like I can't.
You know it'd be even worse? If I
Hmm.
was this age and a kid like you at your age came up and told me that, I would be really depressed.
Nah, I
Oh
don't
my
say that,
God, I can't believe you wasted
man.
your whole life on so I would just like, oh, thank you, kid. Appreciate it.
Exactly. You see, like they look at like a young 20-year-old. They're like, hey man, he's just starting life. He doesn't know anything. And then
You,
this old person is like for like $50,000 in student loan
right.
debt and has a mortgage and like,
If if you think aliens are invisible, can you imagine being a young alien? They really think you're invisible. Oh, shut up, kid.
whew.
You don't know nothing. You're in your 20s. You ain't lived yet. You don't know nothing. Debt is part of life. You're gonna be like, oh man, oh
But
slave.
LJ, how you and Andre and all S&D say it must be that way, and
Yep.
I totally know why. I know why, and it has to be that way because the system will not go. We need slaves so the economy could go good. Do I
Correct.
personally like it? No, I don't like it. But do I think the system is amazing? It's a artwork. I think it's a artwork. I think it's amazing.
Yes.
How they do people like that, bro. They do people super dirty, and it's so simple. Just like I said, trust your calculator, and that's it. But
Think about it. It's not really dirty. It's not dirty if you
uh,
don't trust math. Is it really dirty if
exactly.
you don't trust math?
Oh well, I mean in the way like like
I know what you
it's
mean.
really
I'm
bad.
just
Like
saying. I
yeah,
know what you mean.
like hey man, do your thing. The banks do your thing. Like I mean
Right.
for real. Like hey man, this is they just trust math and you just don't. Cause I will
Right.
never in a million years get like a FHA loan or
Right.
mortgage like that, 30-year mortgage 40. Like come on, like I will never do that in a million years. Let alone have
Never.
student loans with that. That's incredible.
Yeah. The student loan. Imagine having student loans older than your subprime mortgage. You know how bad
Damn.
that is? That's with a car payment.
Damn, man. And I have family members with mortgages and student loans, man.
Mm, mm,
Damn,
mm,
man. This is man. Now,
mm.
now, now, I now like I see what was the purpose of COVID, man. Man, bro, like it was bad, bro. Like it just exposed everything. If you think about it economically,
But if you go out in the public and say that, you're gonna be crazy.
like okay, let me put this. Remember the beginning of the pandemic where everybody was losing their jobs?
Yeah.
And then the people like went 1 month without jobs. Look how the economy crashed. Just 1 month of people not working. People
Right.
were selling stuff to keep, they couldn't pay rent, and that's just 1 month.
One
One
month.
month,
Yep.
not a whole year, just 1 month.
One
And
month.
man, like, come on, it just one. You're really gonna tell me you worked 30 years? You worked since you were 15. for
Right.
45, and you can't save up 1 month of expense of anything, of rent, of anything, and
And you
it's
got to
like,
remember, the banks already knew their position, because you got to remember,
of
before
course,
this happened, there were already people behind on payments, missing
of
the
course,
mortgage payments. Like, they already knew who was going to be falling, who was going to be tipped over if something happened. They already knew that.
this is like psychological at this
Correct.
point,
Correct.
because like if they know and they don't know, like what are you gonna do when something like that happens? You understand? Like it's like, damn, man, it's really brilliant. It's like they're like the puppet masters, and they have, people like scammers to help like slaves get out of debt, and like the top guys, like with the other ones, and then
Mhm.
the people looking down, like the slaves looking, oh, look cool, look at that, like in the show. It's like it's freaking brilliant.
It's absolutely. I remember one time when I was in the debt matrix. I swear to God, I was asking myself this. I remember I was at some kind of farm or something. I went on to with the kids or something, and I remember I was looking down. It was kind of like a upper ramp to where you can look down on all the cows and stuff, walking through the maze of
Mm.
whatever they're going through. And I said to myself, what if what if there's something like that with people? I remember saying that to myself. And then I didn't think about it.
uh,
So then I just left. And now that I'm out of the debt matrix, that's exactly what it's like. That's exactly
no,
what
it's
it's like.
exactly like that. It's like exactly like that. It's like,
Look at it this way. Look at it this way. You know, when you check out at Walmart or any other like TJ
yeah.
Maxx, or look at the maze they send you through before getting to the check stand. That's how it is.
Mm.
They
Like, what
take
you
you
mean?
through
Like
this
before?
maze of shit that they want you to buy before checking out.
You mean like advertising?
No,
Like
I'm
when they
talking.
like
No, I'm
cars?
talking about when you go to check out at like Walmart. They make
Okay,
this
yes,
whole
yes.
maze of candy and bullshit before you get to the checkout.
Oh, oh my, that's so true,
You
man.
see what I'm saying?
Oh
That's true.
man,
That's
but that's
real.
been, bro, that's been since I was born. Like it's with
Yes.
commercials too.
It wasn't always like that. When you went to checkout, there wasn't a maze that you had to go through before you
Oh,
checked
there
out. It wasn't
wasn't?
always like
Wait,
that.
there wasn't a doing when you were a kid or young?
Yeah, it wasn't a maze like that. It wasn't like
What?
it was the regular check stand. You go in there, they got the
Oh,
magazines and the
oh,
TV
that
guide.
is right.
Okay,
That
that
is
was
right. Like
cool. That was
the,
straight, right? But now you
oh,
got to go
now they
through a
have
whole maze to check out.
exactly. Oh man, that's
You got
interesting,
to enter
LJ.
down here, or you got to enter down there to get in line.
Mm,
Way down there at the end, then you got to wrap around like a fucking maze,
mm.
just like a
Well,
cow
that's
getting led to
evolution. That's
slaughter.
just evolution, LJ. If you think about it, that's just them.
Oh, I get
Man,
it. I totally
yeah, no,
get it.
I definitely get it. And also
I
when
get
they
it.
make you self checkout in WalMarts, like
Yeah, they make you.
I get
They
that for sure.
that pisses. I mean, I'd be like, sometimes when I go to
Yeah,
Walmart, I'd be pissed because I want to say, "Hey, I ain't your fucking slave, but I'm only here
exactly,
because I have to be here, and I'm only gonna check out because
exactly.
I have to check
Oh,
out."
like stuff like that. I get, man. Like like man, bro. Like what are those type of people
I walked into
thinking?
the neighborhood Walmart. I said, "Where's the checkers?" Oh, we don't have checkers anymore. I'm like, you guys are making me check out my own stuff.
Nah.
Now I don't even have a choice. Oh, that was a
Oh, they
smart
don't have.
move. Smart move, Walmart. Congratulations.
Oh, that's the future, man. Oh my god, bro.
Ain't no checkers
Wow.
in the neighborhood Walmart. There are no checkers. You have to check out yourself.
Man, it just, man, I just want to know the thinking of those type of people, man. Like people like the family of Walmart and
Correct.
Jeff Bezos, man. Like what is that guy like? How does he think, man? Like you understand what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah, I
damn,
do.
bro.
I one day, I hope to talk to him one day. I
Oh,
really
that
do.
Elon Musk. Oh my God, that'll be incredible because
Incredible.
like how,
Incredible.
man, just talk, like just talk, bro.
Yeah.
Now
You know what I
listen.
would say to him? I'll be like, Jeff, I don't care how much money you got. I just want you to talk to me. Tell me how you do
Exactly.
it.
I don't care. You see, that's also something about slaves. They care about how much you make. It's
Right.
not about that. Like it's really not. It's like look how Jeff Bezos like he practically like he sooner or later he's gonna own CVS. He's gonna own all the super like. Well, I don't think
Yes,
they're
he
gonna make
is.
him do that. But like he's like up to that point, and like I'm just like man, just talk, bro. Like just talk. Like what's your thinking? Because this is
Yeah.
incredible.
Tell me the psychology. How'd you get slaves to believe they get free shipping? How'd you do that? Tell me how
Oh
you
my,
did it.
like you exactly all of that. Like
Because I know the shipping ain't free. I know it ain't free, but how'd you get me to believe it too? How'd you do that?
man, It's just incredible, man. And
Incredible.
also one thing that like you guys are talking about June 19th. Like
Mhm.
I don't know why, but some people think like slavery, like it just ended. Like that's a celebration. Slavery ended. You know, like oh nobody's in chains no more. But
Right.
it's psychologically there's still people who are slaves and also
Because they
physically because
locking
they have to
people to
work.
they're locking people to physical change. You
Oof,
can't tell
yes, like
slaves don't know about you're gonna tell a slave that they're wearing imaginary change. You sound crazy.
exactly. If okay, if like an average slave just come, like an unconscious slave just comes here and sees what you're talking, they're either two things. They're either gonna think everybody here is like a cult or crazy, or two that like ah man, he's LJ's full of shit. All his fans are full of shit, you know.
Right.
But hey man, I'm in debt. Saving money is debt. I'm kind of in debt. I don't know about that. It makes them think about that. Either two ways. They're either gonna think this shit is just stupid as fuck, or just hey, make them look in the mirror a little bit.
Well, again, they cannot look in the mirror. That's why
Mm.
they keep them busy. Keep them busy with cryptocurrency, uh, the virus,
All of
the what's
that.
going on in politics, Democrats,
Exactly,
Republicans.
all of
Keep them
that.
busy.
You see how they make them just distracted of anything, literally anything.
Yeah.
Anything literally like they get distracted about like oh look at what Biden did this or look at what the Kardashian did like they just get them like distracted for like just stupid shit they don't look at their own lives man
No,
why am I always stressed out
because that's
why
important.
why am I working 70 hours a week why am I like they don't like you understand
Well,
me and it's
you got to
brilliant
remember they got slaves on social media bragging about working overtime. Oh man, I got those hours. I'm getting in that OT. You're bragging about that on in the
man.
public in front of everybody.
Speaking about that, I remember when I was little, my grandfather used to work a lot, and I always think to myself, but never asked him, man, like, and I'm a little kid, I'm like 7 years old, man, why is he working so much? Why is he working
Right,
so much?
right.
But this is when I was a little kid, you're a little kid, you're just doing your stuff, you're just a little kid, but
You
you
don't
still know,
know.
but man, why is he working a lot, man? He just, he's only home on Sundays.
Right.
Sundays he's always with me, and like it just, dang man. And then once I grew up more, everything's just clicking. It's like it's like a journey. It's like a journey. Like I can't explain it. Like
Well, I think about this when I go back. I think back. I had my first kid at 22. Right.
that's young.
A kid having a kid, and on top of that, I was in debt. Do you know
Oh,
how far having a kid while you're in debt sets you back? That sets you back so far.
at least
That
18
sets you
years of your
so far
life.
back.
At least 18 years of your life.
A long time.
Oh
And
man,
to
nah, nah.
I absolutely refuse to add up that money.
Whew.
I don't want to add that up.
Yeah, it's just.
I probably shut down SMD. I probably just shut it down, leave.
Yeah, and I look at, now I look at like homeless people differently. I look at marriages differently. When I was little, I always thought, okay, homeless people, they're just bums. But now if
Right.
you
That's
look
what you
at
think.
now, that's what I thought. My bad. But now if you look at it, no, it's because they were in so much debt.
Yeah. That's what
Like
TV will make you think bums are drug addicts and
exactly.
losers. No, you just, hey, next time you see somebody, a homeless person, you say, hey man, do you got your college degree? They're gonna say, yep, sure do.
Oh my god.
You got student loans too, huh? Sure do.
And also like marriages, man. Like man,
Oh man.
that's
Right.
bad. I think if you want to talk about the two worst things to have is student loans and like being married to somebody that has the like I can't explain it why, but that must be bad. Like okay, let's put it this way. Let's say like how you always say one wakes up and the other doesn't, and the
Right.
other has like so much debt, and you're tied with them with the money and all, with the house,
Mm,
with the name.
mm.
Oof, man, like
Man, I think about it now. I was a slave marrying slaves.
exactly.
It's just so crazy how it all connects when you're slave here. Your two slaves get married, working 50 hours at work.
Oh
No, next thing you
hell
know, an
no.
affair happens. Why affair happens? Because you're spending more time at work than at home. Of course, your marriage ain't gonna work.
Exactly. You see all of this marriage, like I could promise you, 90% of this marriage is because they're either working too much or they're in debt.
Because they're in debt.
But mostly
Now,
because
now you're in a building paying two high-priced people for somebody in a black robe to dictate your finances.
oh
Now
my
somebody up
god,
here is telling you what you are going to do with your money. That's what the hell fucking no. That's the worst. I experienced that. That is horrible. Horrible.
nah, LJ, I can't. Man, you experience student loan, you experience child support, man. That's oof. I don't. First of all, I don't even want to know that feeling. But
No, you
second
don't.
off, that must have been bad, bro. Like I can just
Oh, it's
tell,
horrible.
like the way you speak it, like in the members only, like how like psychologically, emotionally, that was bad.
That was bad. It was bad. It was horrible. It was horrible.
And I had look, I'm gonna tell SMD a story. My uncle, okay, he was okay. 27. He cheated on his girlfriend, not his wife, on his girlfriend, right? And he already had 3 kids with them. And he's been paying student, I mean not student. He was been paying child support, having 2 jobs, until finally this one finally turned 18, literally last year. So he was been paying for the 2 girls and then the kid who's the youngest and he had 2 jobs while having credit card debt. So
Mm.
then one day I did tell him that I think it was last week. Hey man, just curious, cause like I don't know why this brought this up, and you shouldn't bring this up, family, no matter what, because they're slaves. I was like, hey man, how was it when you're young man working a lot? He was like, Gabriel, no man, I was the worst, man. I thought I was in prison, like 2 jobs, and the only thing I'll go out maybe on Sundays. Like I was working a lot, working. He worked 70, sometimes 70 to 60 hours, just paying off the child support stuff. And he's 40.
Mm.
Okay, he is 47, my uncle. And
Mm.
man, he would just like talk about, man. I don't want to talk about that. Like stress just coming out to him.
Yeah. You can feel
Like
yeah. It was horrible, man.
yeah, it's like negative energy. Like I could see it from him, and I kind of felt bad for him because man, I don't want anybody to look to witness that. But
It's
then,
it is horrible because you got to fill out all this paperwork and say what are your bills, what are your credit card bills, then
oh
you got
my
to submit it, and then
god,
the other person has to see your finance because you got to reveal your finances to the other parent so they can see what you have. Then you got to go back to every 2 years because if you got a raise, they adjust it. But on the real side of it, had I not have been in debt,
that one never happened.
child support would have, first of all, that would have never happened. But if I got out of debt while having a kid, child support wouldn't have been shit.
Also, I don't, like when people look at like how you also say like YouTube channels about how it's because of woman stuff like this happen. You have to look at yourself first. You have to say, okay, why am I looking at these type of channels for like my problems in life? What
Correct.
like people don't ever like take their self blame. They always find like like a quick thing like, okay, why am I paying child support? Even though maybe maybe you're right or anything, like they never take their blame of their own. Like,
Well, I
okay,
told you they cannot be allowed to look in the mirror. That cannot happen.
it's like you understand. I know understand what I'm trying to say. Like they
I
look
do.
at like, man, this woman looking at celebrities, like this
I do.
divorce, and then the woman gets everything, and man
Right.
never get anything. Or it could be the other one. Oh, men's are like always like this. They always leave you, and I'm just like,
That's just
man,
because they don't
y'all
know that's
both wrong.
slaves dating slaves.
Yeah,
Because
you
when
guys
you're
are
free,
both
you would
wrong.
never date a slave. You wouldn't date. I don't care how she looks. I don't care how fat her ass is. I don't care how good the sex is. You will never tie yourself to a slave. That will never happen.
Yeah, and all this like high value shit, man. It's first of all, it's hilarious. No, I'm being for real. Like when I'm not gonna call out specific channel, but when I see channels like that,
Right.
I don't get mad at the YouTuber. I don't get because it's a business. You're making money, hey, man. Do your thing.
Right.
I don't care. But I just look at man. It's like they're like little kids, bro.
Right.
Like whoever listens to this, like little kids. Like you mean a high value? Okay, so a high value man could be working a corporate job, but having like $300,000 in student loan debt. So that's a high value man for you, or it's just man. It's
Well,
just
think about it this way, Gabriel. If you are debt free and you decide to do stuff like that, look how much money can be made in that bullshit.
a
Right? That's a
lot,
lot of
man.
money. You can like look. Okay, look at Fresh and Fit. Look at Fresh Prince CEO. Now
Mm.
you know, Fresh knows the rules of SMD. You
Yeah.
know for a fact, right? Look at his
Mm.
business. Look how
Exactly.
look how it's
Exactly.
growing. You can't. I don't hate on him, even though the content to me is bullshit.
Man,
But
I
who cares
remember
what I
him,
think? That's
man.
making money.
Look at him now, and I remember him being like SMD,
Correct.
like he just come to your child like normal.
Correct.
Man, you see, and,
He
and
took
and
that.
I'm not saying what they do is wrong or right.
Right.
That's what I'm not
Right.
saying.
Right.
All I'm saying is the viewers, whoever's watching it and listening to that, is wrong because they don't ever look at themselves.
Correct.
Oh, woman, all they want is money. Oh man, one is have like you understand, like they never look at themselves. That's
Because
why
you know what's
business
crazy.
is
This
like
is what's
that.
crazy.
Always want.
I've had people reach out to me and say, "Hey, L man, how come Fresh is not inviting you on his show?" Right? And I said to her, "I
Mm,
would not fit on that show. I would not
oh,
be a good fit. That would
oh,
not be a good fit for me.
no, that would be bad. Like
That would be bad.
imagine, oh my God, imagine you do go and you just talk about finance. No, no, don't talk about relationship. Just talk about finance. Like,
Finances.
ooh, how
The
would the
only way
other guy? How would the I don't know the other guy's name. How would the other guy react? Because I don't
I
know if
don't
he's a
know.
slave. Isn't there or not? I don't really don't know about
I
that.
don't know.
But how?
I just think I'm just looking at what because remember when Fresh he started out in the car and look what
Yes, man,
he's
I remember
become.
all of that. I
That's
know.
impressive,
Yes,
man. I congratulate to him. But like I said, people
yes.
ask me, I just tell them I would not be a good fit for that show because of what my content.
Exactly, man. It's just I don't know, man. It's good for them, like maybe they're
Correct.
doing good, who knows?
Correct.
And then Fresh and Fair, doing good. But
Hmm.
all I have to say is when I see shit like that, I see that shit everywhere. I see that shit in
It's
Instagram.
everywhere.
It's
Exactly.
fucking
Everybody's doing it.
everywhere.
They're just
At
doing
some
it. They're just doing it good. They're just doing it really
mm,
good.
exactly, like now it's popular.
Yes.
Shit like that's popular. Okay, I'm gonna, I don't like calling people, but people like, Kevin Samuels,
Right.
guys like that. Now, I necessarily don't disagree or agree with him, but I'm just like, man, I don't, you guys have to look at yourself, man. That's what, like, you guys have like, it's not every, like, okay, let's put it this way. Let's put it this way. When they talk about how like a woman like they only leave you, right? They
Right.
never put in factor. Okay, why are you choosing that type of woman? Why you can't choose a woman that's not like that? You understand?
Exactly. Exactly.
So,
That's exactly how I look at it. When they talk about a woman that does this,
hmm
I would just say I wouldn't pick a woman like that. That's it.
exactly. Okay, if you had this mentality, like, okay, why a woman like that? Okay, why would you care about that? You would
Right.
not get a woman like that. Oh, she's very mean. She's very, very ghetto. But okay, why are you picking that? That just says a lot about you than it says about her. Why are you
I
trying to
know.
pick women like that? Like,
But this is how you're talking, Gabriel. This is how you're talking, and you don't know it. There's a difference between an alpha male and a debt-free alpha male. There's a difference.
mm,
Alpha males don't know debt-free alpha males exist. They don't know we exist. So when you
mm,
hear an alpha male talk like that, oh man, the bitch is this and she ain't then you turn to him and say, why are you
exactly.
picking women like that? That's your problem. That's your fault.
Exactly. And I see that everywhere, man. I see that it's like incredible how I see that everywhere, man. I see that in social media.
Yeah.
It's like you always have to, and it's the other way around too. It doesn't matter, it doesn't matter, boy, girl, black, white, doesn't matter. If a girl
No.
says, oh, this man, he's very mean,
Hmm.
all he does this is that. Okay, why are you trying to choose this type of man then? Like, it
Right.
just, it just, man, it just, it's a business. We can't, we literally cannot say it's good or bad. It's a business. Like, it's
Well,
making
sometimes,
money, it's
like
profitable.
sometimes I'll catch Fresh and Fit show, right? And they'll do the same mo.
Me
One
too.
guy in the
Yeah, yeah,
middle, some girls on the side. The same old thing, right? And
yeah.
I'll listen to the women speak, and you could clearly see they're in debt. Clearly, it doesn't matter.
I
I'd be
said,
like,
oh my
I don't care what you look
God,
like.
that's
I
so
don't care
true,
how tight
man.
your
Like,
dress
yeah.
is. You are in debt. You're a slave. You're a pretty slave.
No, I put it this way. I see people like that. Like, I see them like an X-ray. Like, I could just know. First of all, by the way they talk. That's first of all. By the way,
Yes.
what people like that, like literally 95% are gonna, not because the way they talk and first of all, the way like the who cares about like oh my, it's just it's really annoying. Like when you think about like oh like this is why women they supposed to be like this and why man should not choose women like that. It's
Right.
just shut up, bro. Like just look at yourself. You
It
don't
makes
need.
no sense.
No,
But
it absolutely don't. It
but
make no sense.
but if you
And
know how to make a good thumbnail and do the right things, you're popular because all of them do the same shit. Go through the thumbnails of all the people that talk about shit like that. All the thumbnails look the same. They all talk about the same thing. They're all the
and
same.
nothing bad, Joe. I mean, LJ, that's not nothing bad. Like I'm
No,
not putting down the people.
no,
Matter of fact, that's great for them. They're making money. They're getting, popular
correct,
by that. I'm just
correct,
looking at some people who look at that type of shit and actually like believe it. You understand me?
correct. It's big
It's
money.
it's it's because the owners who make that, like Kevin Samuels, other people, Fresh and Fit. Hey man, do your thing. Do your thing. Hey man, like
It's funny when
if
I see guys like they'll have guys on the show and they'll be dressed in gold and talk about how they dick down women and this and that. I'm like, man, you guys believe this shit? You guys really been believing that? Come on, man.
LJ, I put it. It's like they're like kids, man. Like I can't explain it.
It
Like they're
is.
like
It's
grown
like
up
kid shows.
kids.
It is. It's like kids. But
Is
at
it
the
the
same
kid
time,
show?
on
Oh
on
my
the business
god!
side, though, I think it's absolutely brilliant.
Oh, it's
Absolutely, hands
amazing.
down. Shut the fuck up, Linnell. They're making more money than you. Shut up.
Like reality shows, bringing that up. Like reality shows.
Yes,
Think
exactly.
about it. Reality shows or like Judge Judy or Jerry
Yes.
Springer. All of that. Like it's just stupid. Let's be honest.
You know what it is? It's this remember when Jerry was big, all those type of shows.
Oh
Now this is
yes,
that time. This is the new version of Jerry Springer and stuff like that right
yeah.
now.
That is no. You are right. Yeah, like man, but like I remember when I was a little kid when cable, when the internet wasn't that big and I used to have cable. I remember I watched like a Jerry Springer show, right? And
Hmm.
I just remember like, man, I already know these people either they're not acting or just they're stupid because it's just two people fighting for stupid. So hey, like he cheated me on with his wife and I had like
Right.
3 kids and he don't do shit and it's
Jerry
hilarious
Springer.
because
Jerry Springer was pimping them.
oh man, it's just
Because
man.
I think about sometimes this is what I'll do. Because when I was younger, don't get me wrong, I watched Jerry Springer. I watched it
No,
when I was
it's not.
when I was in my 20s, right? When I try to watch old episodes of Jerry Springer, I'd be
Oh,
like,
it's
"What the
just.
fuck is this?" I'm like, I used to watch that.
Yes, man.
Oh
It's
my
like
god!
maybe like unconscious self will now understand, but like, man, that shit's stupid. Like shit, like keeping on with the Kardashians or like that shit's like stupid. But hey, the directors or even the Kardashians, hey, man, they're brilliant. That sells.
That sells. Look how much money.
That
Look
sells.
how much money the Kardashians have for doing absolutely nothing. They don't do nothing.
Oh,
They
oh.
don't do anything, and they're millionaires.
I remember I had friends that like, man, why do Kardashian have all this money, man? People work a lot, but you have to look at it this way. Hey, man, they're not doing nothing bad. They're just just a bit like, hey, man, people want to watch them like fight for stupid shit or about man. Hey, man, that's that's all they do. That's people, man. They're not gonna make money like not doing anything. They
You
have
can,
to make like a stupid show. They have to have like Instagram. They have to have drama.
if they
I've
brought
noticed that
me if they
drama.
brought me on their show, that'd
Ooh,
probably be the lowest viewed video if they brought me on their show.
exactly. Drama brings views. When you
Right.
don't have when something just straightforward like how practically now like SMD says, it's not who's gonna like okay, so if I look at the calculator, well I have to look at the calculator, I'm not gonna mention more like oh no or they wanna see like a big fight from like rappers, like they wanna see that
Right.
because they're I put it this way: 90% of slaves that watch that is because their lives are so. Now I'm not saying their lives are bad, but like they have problems in their life and they just want to look at other people's problems in life.
Well, that's what you got to remember. That's what helps people escape. Like right now,
Exactly.
I understand that there's rough times right now. What's the
Hmm.
escape? View other people's problems. Just like Amina said right here. Why do women call into? They'll call into Kevin Samuel's show. Again, I'm not talking anything negative about his show.
Oh,
I'm talking
oh my
about the people
God.
that do it. I'm talking about the people that do it. They call into a show and subject themselves to somebody. Hey, what do you think I am? How do you think I look? How do you rate what? What the fuck are you asking him for about yourself?
First of all, it's just funny, okay? It's just hilarious because like, man, like, okay, first of all, why? Okay, that just says that if you're gonna go to a show saying that like why men are like that and like showing up, but it could be the other way around with men, like men talking shit about women, like oh
Right.
only woman, they try to the only thing they do is just they're gold diggers. They only want to steal your money. Okay,
Right.
bro, why you say that? Because you're hanging out with women like that?
Because
How
you
about
dated a woman like that. You chose
how
her.
about don't date a woman like that? Simple. Just say that don't date a woman or the girl don't date a man like that. But no, you can't say
Exactly.
that. You have to freaking fucking sell fucking that
You gonna
idea.
get her. You gonna get her pregnant because she has a fat ass. So you gonna get her pregnant. Okay. Well, whatever.
It's just fucking hilarious, man. These type of shit, like it's just funny because I've seen like stuff like Fresh and Fair, like I've seen like the shit like that on Twitter or even YouTube, looking at
Yeah.
that and just man, bro, if some of those people just
And
like
you
just
notice how they try to lock things to Spanish people, to black people,
they do
to
that
the
everywhere. It's
Chinese people,
international.
like it has something to do with somebody's race. Debt don't care what color you are. They don't care.
They, they
It don't have to
they don't
speak your
care if you're
language.
gay.
It don't care
Yeah,
about
they
your
don't care if
religion.
exactly. They don't
It
care if you're
don't
gay,
care.
trans. It doesn't matter. If
Nope.
you're in debt, you're a slave. You have to work. You have to do something to pay back that debt.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just understand me. It's like man,
Uh,
it's just crazy. Like the system and the way the majority thinks. Like they escape their lives looking at stuff like drama. I've never been a person with drama. To be honest, I've never liked that. But now
right.
I see the purpose for it. I really do see the purpose for it.
I get it. I get because when you get out in business, right, you got to be able to use. I mean, you just copy the big boys. Just put commercials on mute, and you can see how they sell.
I did.
Buy, buy, buy. All commercials
Oh
are
my
like
god,
this.
that's
Buy,
stupid.
buy,
That's
buy, eat, eat, eat. Buy, 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 eat, eat, eat. Buy, 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 eat, eat, eat. That's all commercials are.
I actually did that for like a minute, and and man, it's just so stupid. Some of these commercials, like I remember there was one about like, look at McDonald's. If you go to McDonald's, you would skateboard like this, and it's just like, man, what the fuck is this shit, bro? Like, am I in kindergarten? Am I watching Barney or some shit? Like, it's just so stupid. Come get the new sandwich, or your
Well,
auto insurance is
look at
low.
the
Come.
look at the general commercials with Shaq.
Oh,
Look at
oh,
those
those are the
stupid ass.
worst.
Those commercials are so stupid, but Shaq's making bread
Man, and I always wonder, man, like, dude, how do people fall for this stupid shit? Like,
because
but
that's what sell. They're making.
but
You know
then,
what they're saying, Gabriel? You know what they're saying to you? That's what sells, stupid. That's why we're millionaires and you're not. So who's stupid?
like, when you used to say, like, in the chat that you were different from the other people, no, I knew I was different from other people just by the commercial shit like that because I always look at like commercials like that. I'm just like, man, like, okay, like it'll be like kind of like weird, like, okay, like it's just very
It,
weird and very
it
stupid,
sells. It sells.
but it sells.
Like
That's why.
watch this. Like I'm watching. Like pay attention to all the like Subaru car commercials. They got dogs driving cars, pretending to
Oh,
have a family of dogs, telling the dog to honk the horn of the truck as the dog drive the big semi truck, honk your horn. It's like it's the dumbest shit,
damn,
but
man.
it
Yeah,
sells.
I remember I watched one that it was with an animal. And it's like showing off, and then they talk about the advertising. Get this Nissan, no payments for 4 months. The car payments are 360, and it just the
Yeah.
zero APR, and it just like man, bro, like
You have challenged credit. They always use different words. Do you have challenged credit? Do you whatever slave? They're gonna find some words. Whatever.
oh my god, bro, it's
If
so
you have
cheap.
challenged credit and you make $400 a week, come on in here and we can help you drive out of a new car today. I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can.
Hell no, hell no. LJ, also you talking about that you said that like financing a car is like the worst thing financially you could do maybe in your life,
Right. Right.
man, that must have been like, damn, but it just okay. I'm gonna
Hey,
put it
you
this
know what I saw the other day? You know what I saw the other day? I
way.
was driving down the street, and right outside the title loan place, they had cars lined up like they had a car lot. They had
Oh
about
my
5 cars in
god,
their parking
bro.
lot in the title loan place for sale,
Jesus.
like a car lot.
Oh
So
man,
people that
man, this
came in got a loan for their title, got like a probably got a $500 loan for the title of their car. Of course, you're not going. You come in and get a title loan, you ain't got no money to pay it back, and now their cars are for sale.
wow, man,
That's messed up.
the system is never
Imagine,
gonna change,
imagine
bro.
driving
Wow.
riding by on the bus, and you look at the title loan place, and you see your car in the parking lot for sale. Oh,
It's just,
slaves.
it's just. I put it this way. Sometimes I do feel bad for some people when they're like deep in debt, but at the same time, I put it two ways. Number one, it has to be that way, or like people like, it'll drove down the whole system. And second of all, they're choosing to do stuff like that. They're choosing to get a mortgage. They're choosing to finance a car for 84 months. They're choosing it.
Well,
But
that's why the financial scammers can take their money, because all they got to do is look the part. All they got to do is
mm,
dress, wear gold jewelry, drive nice cars,
speaking
and
about
be in a
that,
nice
yeah.
house, and the slaves believe it. They just believe it.
Speaking about that, man, every time like I look at some YouTube stuff, I always get ads about people. Hey, you want to make a quick $500 with no money needed, no experience needed.
Right.
Just look at my click. Like I see that everywhere, man. I see that.
Uh-huh.
I see that. I promise you. I think 70% or 80% of ads I see is literally people trying to sell me stuff. But I don't know why I keep getting those type of ads. Because first of all, I know that's stupid. Like let's be honest.
Right.
There's no way a quick video, oh, I don't need to know anything. No, how to expect. Also, one, how to escape your 9 to 5 in just 20 days. Like, I'm just okay. Like, I know this, like SMD would just laugh about that, but really come to consideration, people actually pay for that shit. Think
Well,
about that.
because they use what people want.
Fear.
They
Yes,
use the
exactly.
fear.
Yeah, but like SMD, like think about it. People actually pay for this stupid shit. Like it's like
They do.
it's it's fucking insane. Like
Yeah.
like and also there was like a ad because I'm because I sometimes I get interested. They'll show a guy like in the beach. Hey, you want to be like this with the glasses in the beach, and you're sitting down. You want to do what you want to work when your own time, and they show like a fucking computer in a fucking
Right.
Ferrari, a
Right.
big ass house, and like
Yeah.
all you have to do is just stand up for one of my classes, and you'll be like me. My
Yeah.
clients, my employers, they made like $10,000 a month, and I'm just
Yep.
like, man, bro, like
Yeah, they did.
it's
Yes, they did.
bad.
And you know what? Again, we even those people that sell them that stuff, we need those people.
No, that's true.
We need people to sell them FHA mortgages, get rich quick, as long as they're legal. MLMs, the MLMs, those are legal.
Ooh,
Sell it to them. Say,
man,
hey,
it
you want?
just
Hey, won't you be your own business? Be your own business owner. Just give us a monthly fee. Okay, whatever, slave, whatever. Be your business owner. Go ahead.
man, it's just hilarious, man. Like some of these
Sign up all your
like,
family and friends. Sure do. Then when you quit, guess what? We still own all your family and friends.
oh man, it's just bad how they do some people like that, man. And some of
That's
them,
why that's why FHA mortgages, because slaves don't know. That's why they exist.
man, like also one thing is how can you convince somebody that if you have student loans that you can still buy a house like that shit like you guys want to talk about mind blowing that shit like absolutely like
Mind blowing.
that shit no like that shit's like man what the fuck like
That that's
student
different
loans
level psychology. That's different
oh
level.
no
That's
that
whole
is
different level.
that's I'm just like how can you convince just and this person this here her shirt could be like like it doesn't have to do how you look that's also I look it doesn't matter like poor, rich, well, rich, like faking rich or whatever. It doesn't have to do with anything. bro, they just do people like left and right. Like if they're like numbers, is like, hey, you have a student on there, you could still buy a house, man. Come on, man. Just sign down the dotted line, and then just damn,
They
I don't
had
know,
me.
man.
They had me. That was me. They got me there. Sure did. Good
But you
one.
had a house, or if you had a loan, like FHA loan,
I
or
had
you
a loan. I had a subprime mortgage
decent?
loan. Sure did.
Oh my
I had no
god.
money. I was deep in debt and got a house.
LJ, I was going to ask. Once you found out like Dave Ramsey, what was the first debt that you paid off?
Well, you put it in order. So you go smallest debt to
Order.
the largest debt. So
Okay.
whatever my
Well.
smallest debt was, it started from the
Oh,
smallest
okay.
one.
Man, how did that?
Yeah.
Man, I always want like people like that, like just that want to get out of debt. Man, how does that feel once you're paying off and then you're seeing the numbers go down of the debt? That must have been like
That's the
relief.
psychological part. That's why I like the baby steps, because that's the psychological part. You see them disappearing. And then I started to
Mm.
slowly realize that that monthly payments was not a normal thing as I was getting out of debt.
Now I know why like Dave Ramsey when like they pay off the debt they had like debt screams because
Right.
man that
Right.
that that's like soul crushing having
Yes.
like debt and like first of all, imagine a conscious slave knowing that like they have that debt, but they don't really want to look at it. First of all, that's a sign. If you don't want to look at your debt, no matter what debt,
Right.
if you don't want to look at your debt, and that's a sign that like, man, you need to look at yourself, man.
If you're
Why
scared,
would you get scared when they
if
talk
you're
about
too
student
scared to
loans?
look at your debt, you're in trouble.
Like, like when they talk, I remember like when some people like when Joe Biden wanted. Remember when Joe Biden people thought he was gonna cancel student loan debt?
Right.
And
Right.
you see everybody online, yeah, Joe Biden, cancel it, man. I'm still, hey, yes, yes, yes. And then when he says no, like, you see how, like, some today, like, they beg.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about
Just like they
yourself,
beg
man?
for
Like,
overtime. Just like they beg for overtime. They fight for overtime.
now, when it comes to overtime, now, if you're going overtime to pay off debt, that's a whole different story. Hey, man,
That's
do your
different.
overtime. That's a whole
That's
different,
different.
you understand? That's a
Yeah.
whole different story. But if you want overtime because you just want
You
overtime
know what
because,
slaves will do?
man,
Slaves will go and finance a car and include their overtime in the credit application.
oh my God, jail.
Oh, you're
Dang,
talking
man.
about my regular salary, or are you talking about when I work 20 hours overtime? Let's go ahead and include the 20 hours overtime. Okay, cool.
Oh, man, and think about it. Okay, let's say like they finance like the best car, like a 20 car. They're good, but they work a lot. All they see with the car is the driving down the highway, and then once they go home, or sometimes they go like friends. But that's it. And just to impress people for like 20-minute chat, and they're all the same for just
All the
a
same.
car. It's
Just the
just
car.
it's just fucking insane.
You
Like
think the
how
bank?
people like.
You think the bank wants that piece of shit car? Whatever it is, it could be a brand new Corvette. The bank don't care. The bank will call a brand new Corvette a piece of shit. I don't want that. You want to
Oh,
finance
that's
it?
so
Okay,
true,
whatever.
man.
You can finance it. I don't care.
Man, it's just man. That first of all, banks have been this since the millennium, since like hundreds of years.
Of
This
course,
shit, this shit is. I'm not saying it's worldwide, but this shit is like it's like man, it's been for a long
it is
time. And
worldwide.
also,
It is
yeah,
worldwide.
man, it is worldwide. Yeah,
It is.
speaking, it's just that there's different like it's different government, different system, but it's all. If you think about it, yeah, because
Yeah.
man, bro, like how could you let's put it how can you tell like somebody who's like successful, who has like a good business, right? And
Uh-huh.
has and tell them that like that they don't even own their business. How can you tell
Right.
somebody like that?
I don't
Like you
know.
understand me? Like that's a like how you say that's a huge red pill to swallow. That's
So
a
what I would say to a
huge
person like that, this is what I would say to a person. I would say, "Are your student loans older than your business?" They'll say, "Yeah." I say, "The business owns you
and
because you
they'll
didn't have any
glitch.
money to buy the business, so it owns you."
Like imagine like and they glitch. I've noticed that when you talk about like financing, you talk about stuff like that. Some people like they glitch. They're uh, like they glitch because they're thinking
Yeah,
about
they
like,
glitch.
man, maybe he's right. Like man, it's
Just like
incredible. Now,
look what Andre said. Have the person count to 10. You say, "Hey man, count to
yeah,
10." They're gonna get insulted. They're gonna be like, "What the fuck you mean count to 10? Count to 10.
No,
One, two, three, stop.
stop zero. Yeah, it's
What do you
true.
mean stop? I'm not going to
It's
tell
true,
you.
man.
Bye.
Man, Andre, bro. What Andre says, man, he's just in the man, bro. He's the things he say, like it's like you gotta look at the 2A and the income, and then I was looking at 2A of my parents, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so true. Oh my god, like the stuff, man. Andre is like it's something else, man. Like,
You gotta
man.
take. You gotta take. You know what? And when somebody gets this information, you got to have it in baby steps. You can't take big
Oh
scoops.
yeah, you can't have it, and that's the problem. Some people get it all maybe all at once. So like somebody like maybe who's like his early 30s and gets this and like talking about like what you do in the member side, they're
Right.
gonna lose their mind. They're gonna lose their shit. They're
Correct.
gonna be like, "Hey, what do you mean my wife? What do you mean my wife is What do you mean like everything about my life is a lie? What do you mean what stupid shit about Like they can't take this all at once. It has to literally be baby steps, or they'll lose their shit, or
Like
they'll
when you hear,
just not
like
believe
when you
it.
hear somebody say, "Oh man, that Rolex Presidential cost $20,000." You got to turn to a slave and say, "Hey, do you really believe it cost $20,000 to make this watch?" You got to ask those kind of questions. Do you really think it costs?
Exactly.
No. Then why are you paying $20,000? I don't get it.
And I remember when the stimulus came out, when it coming, I see people like memeing saying, "What am I gonna do when I get my stimulus check?" And it shows them like a Gucci belt and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Mm,
man, bro,
mm, mm,
man,
mm.
I just because of that, I already know your finan. Like I'm being for real, I already know your financial stuff. Like I already know, like
Well,
stuff like that.
that's why they call it stimulus check, because they're stimulating the economy.
It's pretty, yeah, it's true,
See,
man. It's
I
just
think, like, see what Sewer Rat's saying. I believe there got to be some more stimulus money coming. That's the only thing I can see right now. Got to
mm.
be.
Well, LJ, I don't think, but that won't end like the moratoriums and the evictions.
Yeah, that won't
It's
be
not gonna
enough
be
money. You're
maybe
right.
man.
That won't be enough money. You're right. I don't
That'll
know what they're
maybe
gonna do.
help. That'll definitely help the economy, no, for sure.
That'll put a little tap of the brakes, but it won't be enough to prevent the rent moratorium. I want to know what they're going to do with this rent moratorium. I
Oh,
just
it's gonna come. It's gonna come in 9 days. Let's see, or
Oh, it's
before,
9
because they
days
always
and it ends. Okay, 9
yes,
days.
because it says the 30th the end. Also, last thing I'll talk about. Also, I wanted to talk about the unemployment thing. Every time I drive and I see around like stores, I always see now hiring everywhere.
Right.
But
Right.
wait, wait, and like freaking McDonald's is fucking $11 plus benefits. And I see everywhere, and I'm like, man, there's a lot of jobs here, man, and there's still a lot of unemployment people.
I went to
But then I say,
McDonald's the other day. They put a flyer in my bag talking about a job. I've never seen McDonald's do that. I
yes, I
opened
never
my
seen
bag
companies
to
do
eat
that
my
shit.
food. They had a job flyer in there. I was like, what the? A job flyer?
Yes, LJ, it's crazy, and now I understand because people or they have this much freedom getting a check and not working a job. So I always look at this. To those type of people, I always look at, hey, do you want to have that in your rest of life, or you don't want to work a job? Because like that just proved that thing that when companies are like, we're hiring plus benefits. If you join us, you'll give you a $500 bonus. That and people are not accepting that shit. That just proves like, man, bro,
Mm,
there is
yeah.
like the unemployment people like are experiencing like, but that's gonna run out,
Right.
bro.
Every place where I live, it's got a now hiring sign. That's going to
Oh,
stop soon as the unemployment stops. That's all those jobs are going to disappear.
but LJ, okay, let's put it this way. Once they stop like, because in Florida they're gonna stop it like in the end of the month. It's different between states, but once they stop it, you think what if people don't look for jobs? Like you think they're gonna have to be job for every because there's more like 8 million people like well unemployed. Like you understand me?
Right.
You
Right.
think people are just like all those jobs that people are just gonna like get them? You understand what I'm trying to say?
They're going to have to take them because they ain't got no money. They're going to
No,
have to
no,
take
no,
them.
no, no. Okay, you think like they're gonna be left behind? Well, I don't think that's never gonna happen because like the way the system. There's always gonna be a job, no matter what, fast food, nothing. But I'm saying
Well,
like it's gonna be a shortage because what I'm
well,
hearing in the news that a lot of people are like resigning from their job, that there's a labor shortage struggle, like nobody wants to work. Obviously, because they're getting fucking money on unemployment doing nothing.
Well, I think, and they keep throwing this. And Andre, if you're listening, the income. What's that thing called? Something income based
Yeah,
money.
yeah.
I don't know if they're working towards that base universal base income, some shit like that. I don't know what that is, but uh, I'm assuming because I just don't know what they're going to pull out of the hat to stop this rent moratorium. I just don't know what's going to happen.
Man, it's just no. They have to do something. Like, I'll listen. I'll be amazed if they like pushed it more. I'll be like, okay, now what the fuck are they doing? Why are they pushing it more? They have to do something. Like,
They have to
like
do something. They
I
have to
don't
do
know what the
something.
fuck they're gonna do, but I don't
You
know.
know what? This is what you got to do. That's well above our pay grade. Generations
Oh,
and
for sure.
trillions of dollars. Just sit back, shut up. You got a seat. If you got a seat, shut up and just enjoy the
Shit.
ride. I'm a watch. I won't interfere. I just want to see it.
No, of course not. Not. It's like a show, bro. It's like a show when shit like that. Like, it's kind of entertaining because, man, what the fuck they're gonna do like that?
Well,
Because it's
they've been doing this for centuries. Okay,
no, but
so
I mean, yeah, that's true. That's true. But like
yeah,
when you guys were, well, I don't want to spoil stuff, but when Andres talks about the memberships, shit like about about investment and how like man freaking like families generation wealth like their kids that don't even work like man you understand me like stuff like that. It's like people like damn, it's like I can't explain
yeah.
like the way of
When Andre was talking about that stuff, I got to maintain because it's almost fucking depressing, right? Especially, it's like damn.
man. I
You
wish I would
mean
have
I
known this
didn't have to?
if I was
You
my
mean I
20.
didn't have to work? I could have been working for a maximum of maybe 10 years and be done with that shit. Yep, sure could have.
Exactly, man. It's just, and don't get me wrong, we need slaves because the economy will not run without slaves because we need people working to do stuff maybe that they don't like. Do I think it's good? No, I personally I don't think. But do I like it? Yes, I like the system how it is because it's just amazing like how everything clicks. I notice everything clicks when it comes to like drama
Mhm.
shit about like business. When it comes to like fucking having student loans and having a mortgage, like everything clicks. It's just
Yeah,
and
it
also
just
like dividing people. Like politics and shit. And I understand the purpose of it now.
it's like it looked like Bacon and Lee. Like you guys don't know. I used to live in Kent, okay, and I always tell this story. I don't know if you guys remember that area down there. You know where the Amazon factory is down there in Kent, right? That used to be a big ass open field. Nothing used to be there. Okay. And I remember one day, because I used to
Mm.
drive that way to work when I had a job. One day, a hotel popped up there in the middle of a field. I was like, why in the hell are they putting this hotel right here in the middle of nothing? Next thing
Mm.
you know, the Amazon factory pops up. Oh, now I get it. Got
That's
it.
what. Yes, that's why I want to know like people like Jeff Bezos, the way those guys think is like incredible.
Mm-hmm.
And I always see like people online like Jeff Bezos, like you saw the new thing that like it shows
Well,
that
it's not
billionaires don't pay.
incredible. That's just money talk. That's money talking to each other. They're
Yeah,
friends.
but it's exactly. But like I remember I was looking at like online and people were like mad because it's like it showed like hey billionaires here's how billionaires avoid paying taxes or like pay little no taxes and I'm
Right.
just like oh okay like man there's for a reason why they're avoiding tax. Don't think that like they're doing that. That's illegal. You have to pay tax. That's illegal. It clearly
Right.
says that like if you don't pay taxes you go to jail. Why that?
Right.
Go to
Right.
jail.
Right.
Jail, in prison for
But there's
fucking taxes.
the reason why you can because there's legal ways you can do it. They're just doing it the illegal
Exactly.
way. They're doing it You think you just gonna be born and just break the rules? No, you can't. You get spanked. You can't you can't do that.
Man,
You
bro.
think
Also, Edge,
you're
man,
just gonna
those
break the rules that
IRS
have been put in
agents,
for
man,
centuries?
bro. Ooh,
Yeah, man. I,
exactly,
this
man. But I
system's
was I was
remarkable.
thinking about Edge, damn IRS agents are yeah, IRS agents are incredible, bro.
I could be
Like
if I was
how
the IRS
let's put
agent,
it
I
this
would be unstoppable. They would hate me. Who's
yo
assigned to
you'll
my
be
case?
annoying.
LJ
You'll
Young.
annoy
Oh
that.
man, I don't want him. I don't want him.
You pick. And don't think of there's people like who have businesses. There's people who do
Oh,
people's taxes that are in tax trouble. Can you believe that?
ooh, yeah. No, I can't because it's the same.
That's it. But that's also astonishing. The about one thing about that how you could pay student loan. If you have student loan, you could still buy a house, quote unquote, and also a tax person having tax trouble. Doesn't
Right.
make fucking.
Right.
Oh my
If I
god.
was an IRS agent and I was assigned to some business to see if they're doing their taxes wrong, because remember, if they're knocking on your door, they already know you're doing something wrong. They already know. That's why they're there. Okay. They're not there by accident. They're there, right? I'd knock on the door. They'd be like, "Hey, I'm IRS agent Young." They're like, "Oh my God, you're here. I'm gonna go get a lawyer." I'd say, "Why? Why are you gonna get a lawyer? What's the lawyer gonna do? Change the laws of mathematics?" Okay, whatever. I'll be back.
Oh my god. That's damn man. Have you ever had iris trouble?
No, never. I've never had IRS
Never.
trouble.
Man,
Never.
I just want to know like what the fuck do they do? People, cause I've seen. Let's put it this way. I've seen like online shit. You know, debt collectors, those type of
Hmm.
jobs.
Hmm.
Man, those jobs are man. And they make TV shows out of the calling like people like threatening them. Hey, if you don't pay this, like damn man, that's
Right.
bad, bro.
It's horrible.
They're
They're
like,
making money.
you know what debt collectors IRA agents are? They're like bulldogs. Debt
How
collectors
many
are like bulldogs. No, no, not RSA. I think debt collectors. They're like bulldogs, but they do it in a
debt
legal
collectors
way.
are? Debt collectors are, yes.
There you go, my bad. Not RSA agents. Debt
Yeah.
collectors are like bulldogs that are in a legal way, just harassing you, calling you names. Hey, why the fuck you not like? Man, that is crazy. I
To
can't.
me, when I think about IRS agents, I think I would be not surprised that in order for you to be an IRS agent, you cannot be in debt. That would be a requirement. That should be a requirement.
Man, LJ,
You
who
cannot
knows,
be in
man?
debt.
Yeah, I could. That is true.
But
And
I
I
mean, I
was.
doubt if it's true though. I doubt if it's true. You
Nah,
couldn't have. I
who
don't
know?
think they
Who
can
knows?
have that
Let's put
many.
it this way. Who knows? Because fucking what this COVID has taught me, anything could be possible, man. Like, man, how can you have student loans and still apply for a mortgage? That absolutely makes no sense. Like,
Well, because
literally,
you're
doesn't
looking
make
at it
sense.
wrong. Think about it this way: if they didn't allow people with student loans to buy houses, could the housing market
Or
exist?
no, I'm putting in like if like of course I understand the reason what they're doing, but
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
I'm just
Mhm.
like man, I can't explain it, man. That's just funny, all right? That's just funny.
I
I
know.
don't
Shut
like
up,
that.
crazy. Because you're crazy.
That's just funny,
Because
like.
no, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Oh man, bro, it's bad out there, man. And also, if you look at like how you say, if you look at social media, you see people like with their girlfriend or with the boyfriend having a fun time. Man, you're 100% true. You don't know what they in the background.
No.
You don't know, and for sure, some of those people are in like huge debt, but like
Yes.
incredible because they're probably credit cards, everything. They want to show the world because they're they're obsessed with being famous and all of that, and then in the background they have financial trouble.
All you got to do is listen to them speak. Just listen to them talk.
Also that too. Also that too. Also, when you hear, I always see this in YouTube channels when they talk about the FHA thing about student loans, and you see like channels who have a million subscribers, LJ, a million subscribers, a
Millions.
million.
Yeah.
Then I'm talking
Yeah.
about like, hey, good news about it's like a kid show. Hey, good news that like if FHA look at requirements, even if you have student loans, like it just
Right.
man, it's fucking hilarious, bro. It's like if it's it's just
And you know
fucking
why
hilarious.
they believe them? You know why they believe them? Because they have a million subscribers. That's why. That's why they believe them.
What I've always wanted to do, I always want to have like a body camera and go to like a dealership or do something like slaves and like just to ask them questions. Hey, if I have this, cause that, but I just that, you understand like do
Mhm.
like do some stupid shit like that because it's just
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it is. Slaves are funny. Slaves are entertaining. They're
Don't get me
entertaining.
wrong. What they do to some type of like slave, like they say. like how you say like the VA loans with veterans. That's kind of fucked up. Let's be
That
honest.
is. That
That
is.
is
That
kind of
is.
fuck.
That
Hey
is.
man, and
That's
what they
messed
do,
up.
doctors and nurses, that's even worse. Like
That's even
only
worse. You're right. That's a good point. How they do doctors and nurses. It's like, this is what I understand, right? Here's a doctor that spends all these years in school, right? And then when they have to do residency, they still don't pay him shit. And they
I
got
know,
hundreds of
man.
thousands of dollars in student loan debt.
And the reason I know that is because I have a cousin that lives in Orlando, Florida, and
Uh-huh.
is still doing exactly the same thing that she's doing. Exactly. So that's why I know that. And I'm just like, man, that's fucked up. Like that,
That is
I understand
messed
the
up.
thing, but whatever, man. That's that's the system. But that's stuff like that. That's fucked up. But other stuff, let's be honest, them fucking financing a car. Come on, man. Like
Right.
that just first of all that's just stupid.
It's
I don't like
stupid.
saying that, but that's just fucking hilarious. How are you gonna like finance a car for 84 fucking months for 7 years? Holy shit! Imagine making payments for a fucking car for
but
7 years.
if we were out in public, if we're out in public, Gabriel,
Oh, they'll think
I'll
we're
be on the side
crazy.
of slaves. I'll be like, hey, don't listen to Gabriel. He's crazy.
No,
I'm not getting jumped. What are you
if
talking
people,
about, Gabriel? Everybody finances car for 7 years. That's nothing crazy, Gabriel.
I don't talk when I, I don't. Of course, I don't talk. I don't even talk about finance to anybody. Like because it's because like okay, imagine like Andre. Like if Andre just like actually talked to slaves like this, like they would just like be like he's like an actual alien, like he's not human because they never heard of that shit in their life.
Right, right,
All of
right.
that, and then and also what I know, slaves I've always known majority always want to find a way out of their life. That they always want a quick way to get out of debt or a quick way to become
Right.
financially free. So that's
And
why
guess
now
what?
I understand the
And guess what? They sell it to them.
exactly.
You
Now I
want a quick
understand.
way out? I'll sell it to you.
Now I
Look at
understand
the
the reason, bro.
look at the Rocket mortgage commercials. You know Rocket Mortgage?
Oh, that's so
I
much.
don't know what
Oh
Rocket
my.
got to do with it. I don't know what Rocket got to do with mortgage, but anyway, look at Rocket Mortgage. And they say, hey, you want to buy a house fast? What do you mean buy a house fast? What are you talking about? You can't buy a house fast.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Is my money fast? What are you talking
Yeah.
about? What do you mean buy a house fast?
Oh man, it's man, I can't even explain it. It's like okay, it's like the slaves are the audience, the puppets are like the people, and
No,
then the people
slaves are the
controlling
show. We are the
the
audience.
show.
Slaves are in the
Oh,
show.
my bad. The show exactly. The other one, we're yeah, that makes sense now more. It's exactly like that because like man, though they look like kids, bro. The way
Now we're in the audience. Put it this way: say like there's 3 levels. Like say like we're in the stadium, right?
Mhm.
All right. Andre got floor seats. Okay, we're in the like we're in the like 200 level. He can hear us. Like
Cosmic
if we
too.
yell at
You
him,
guys, yeah.
if we yell at Andre, he can hear us. But when he turn around, he won't see where it's coming from yet. I'm working my way down to
Mm.
the floor. Okay, I'm getting down there.
Also cosmic, like people like that. Yeah, man. It's just
Yeah, Cosmic's down there. Her and Cosmic, they got floor seats.
no,
I'll
but I
get
think
there. I ain't
Andre.
worried about. I'll get there.
Man, I learned a little bit of Andre, man. That is damn, man. I don't know how he gets his shit. I don't know how, but one day I will know. I know for sure I will know, because I'm very interested in this type of shit. Because like, man, like, how can you? Let's put it this way: how can you a whole mass of people? These people could be good looking, doesn't matter. But how can you
Doesn't matter.
convince them that like you could still have a mortgage? I mean, buy a house with students, or you could, stuff like that is just insane. And those people, like you could look them out in the street and they look rich. They look like they have money. They look
Wait a minute.
gold.
What's Andre saying here? What's that kid? I know that's kid something, right? I don't know what that. What does
They,
that say?
that's like little kid.
Little kid. Okay.
Yeah.
Little kid. Okay.
Yeah, call
Little
me
kid.
little kid.
No, he's talking about the people like little kids.
Oh, that is true. That's also
People are
true.
like
No,
little
it's
kids.
like the little kids. It's literally that the
Yeah.
little kids, man. And like bro. Because I'm not because they don't know. Like I always have to
They
put
don't
it.
know.
They
Exactly. They
don't
don't
know.
know.
I'm not calling them stupid or smart. I'm
Right.
just saying they just don't know. But I
Well, they
know,
don't
and
trust
it's just
math.
funny.
They don't trust math.
Also
That's
that
all it is.
too.
They just don't trust math. That's it.
And now, like now, when I like how you say, like at first when you said, "Oh, it doesn't matter about a person, subscribers," I'm like, yeah, it's true. It doesn't really matter. But like, hey, man, they have a lot of subscribers. But now it absolutely doesn't matter. All these
Right.
channels I'm looking at that like I'm gonna have to put in Discord all these channels talking about, hey, even if you have student loan debt, don't worry, you could still have financial freedom. Don't pay off your debt. How you gonna tell somebody don't pay off your debt? How you gonna sit there with a straight face and tell somebody, you could be financially free without paying your debt? Okay, it's like I glitch too. Like, what the fuck is that? How you gonna tell? How you gonna tell at least 500,000 people at least that
Yes.
you could still be financially free and live life good
And not pay off your
without
debt.
paying debt. That
Yeah.
doesn't even make sense. Like what the
Right.
fuck? Like and they say with a straight face, happy. It doesn't matter what type of job. You could live financially free even if you have even if you have $300,000 in mortgage. Doesn't matter. You could live
You
financially
must,
free. Enjoy
hey
life.
Gabriel, do you must watch this stuff? You watch this stuff by yourself, Gabriel? Because I can't imagine you watching with slaves.
Me right.
You must watch
Of
this by
course I watch it.
yourself.
I don't want. Of course I watch it. I'm in my car right now. I'm at home right now. No, are you insane? Look, speaking about that, I wanted to make my like one of my family members, my cousin, watch
Mm,
it, but man, he won't understand. He's the type of guy that like showing off. Hey man, look at my car. Look at my new. He's like he loves the cars and then working a lot. Like if I show him, I don't think so that he would. He would think that I'm fucking crazy. Hey man, what the fuck you showing me? There's just a fucking guy talking about, hey, slaves. Man, I ain't no fucking slave, man. You understand? Like, hey man, I ain't no motherfucking slave. I'm like, okay, and
okay.
like it's also sad, like seeing some family members knowing that some of them will never ever
Correct.
leave the death matrix, but
Correct.
it
That's
has to
hard.
be that way. Some things in life is not
It's
fair, and
hard.
that's one of them.
But what
You
you
work
should
you
work on, you got to work on a family members that will listen, because you got to remember, if you go through your
My
life
mom, that's
and you're
it.
the only member that knows this information is going to die with you, Gabriel. You don't want that, right?
No, I
Because when
understand
you
that.
grow up,
No,
when you
now
have kids, you got control over
oh,
your kids. You can pretty
oh,
much make them do it. But other family
yeah,
members, if you don't
no,
find
that's
one, it's
true.
going to be hard. It's going to die with you.
The only person that I could say in my life that does that is my mom. I think because like when I talk about her about like like just stuff, I could see that she's not understanding. Like when I was talking about the renting, hey mom, what's your? Because I just hey mom, to say like in Spanish, hey, what's your thought about like the thing that what's gonna happen? She's like,
Mhm.
you know, I don't know, no. And I told her, hey, what do you so you think it'll be bad or good? And she'll be, "Oh, Gabriel, of course it'll be bad. But I told her, why you think it'll be bad? And then she's like glitching, like she'll understand like that. But that's
Mhm.
maybe the only person that like, other than else, like I could tell some of my family members,
Is
I
she
could really tell.
is she pausing? Do you
Yeah,
see her
she's
pausing?
glitching. She's glitching.
Because remember, there's a
Like
difference between glitching and pausing. I mean, I guess
okay,
glitching and
not
pausing
no
the same
glitch
thing.
glitch. Okay, let's put it this way. Like I was
Okay.
talking about the thing that oh my god yeah, the renting. I was talking to her about the renting, and I was
Okay.
talking about, hey, what do you think is gonna happen? And she's like, oh, I don't know, I don't follow that, none of that. And he's like,
Mhm.
oh, but what do you think if they just wiped it off? She was like she just, it's true a pause too, but she that kind of glitch. She's like, I don't know, somebody would do it, and I literally told her, who is that somebody? And she was like, I don't know, and she thought it was weird, like, Gabe, I don't know. And I also talk to her about like, hey mom, have you noticed that like we are watching like a movie, and I told her, hey mom, have you noticed that like all these drama, like it doesn't make any sense? And she's like, you are right. All these reality doesn't make sense. That is, and
Mhm.
I got her thinking,
Good.
but like you understand, like that's practically the only person that do it, because I really don't like talking about that
Right.
stuff to
No, it's
people
just,
because
and that's my goal. My bigger goal, like my goal,
mm,
this is huge to start SMD. Okay, that's big, but I need to get some of my family into this. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's gonna be
I
hard,
think I
man.
got my brother. I think I got my brother and his wife. But if I didn't, that means it's going to die with me, and I just don't want it to die with me. I want it to carry on through my
Yeah,
family.
exactly, LJ. And I thought it was easy, because everybody, you know, they used to- everybody just loves me. And everybody in my family loves me, and I thought it was easy, but no, man, it's just hard because
Because it ain't got
and
nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with love. That's why it
and
ain't got nothing to do with love.
also too, it has nothing to do with love. Hey man, you're little, man. You're a little kid. Even though I'm 20, I hate when they call me little kid. I'm 20. I'm practically, but you're a little kid, man. You don't know shit. This is my cousin, like cousins that like I consider them like a brother, and they talk to me like that, and they don't know that I know this type of shit.
Right,
But hey, man,
right.
like
It
LJ,
don't
what you
matter.
do, man, LJ, you don't understand what you do is like amazing to people, and you're doing this shit for free, man.
Right.
That's also the part. What you do, unconsciously say, don't understand how much you're helping people with their lives.
No, I get it. This
It's
is
like
and this
incredible.
it's my it's my it's this is what I've been put here for, man. This is it. I
Whatever.
know this is
Yes,
it.
you are put there. No, you are right. You're right, man. Because what you do is it's incredible, man. It's like a blessing
Because
because
what
you're doing this
people
shit
don't
for
understand
free.
too, this is what people don't understand, Gabriel. This is what other people don't understand. Everybody that's everywhere they go, there's somebody's trying to sell them something, right? But even
Always,
when they come
everywhere,
here,
man.
they're like, man, I know you do sell something, but you're not always trying to sell us something. And they can't figure that
Exactly.
out. They're like, what the fuck? Why is this guy not trying to sell us something? And then they listen more.
LG, you want to know the secret? Because you're unique. You're not like 99% of these channels or anything. It doesn't have to do with financial anything in
Right,
life. You're
right,
none of them.
right,
Because let's be honest, some YouTubers don't like what they're doing, but they're only doing it for money reasons. Or some of them actually like doing what they're doing, but they sell it to you. While
right,
you're the rare ones that number one like what they're doing and not selling it.
right. Now I do
And
sell a service, but not like the
well,
way
yeah,
everybody
well, you know
does.
what I mean. Like,
Yeah, I do. I
man,
do.
what you say, let's be honest, LJ, what you say, it's freaking extreme to like somebody like a college slave who's maybe been working their whole lives and don't even
Right,
have like $5,000 saved
right,
in their bank account, and think that they own a home, own like how you say the equity and everything, and they don't own shit.
right, right. Nothing.
It's just, yeah, man, it's
And
incredible. It's like a blessing. I
it's
don't
like
get
it's a
religious.
blessing to be able to give it to you this age, man. You're gonna kill it, man. You're gonna kill it, man. You're gonna kill it.
Also, man, it just, man, I want to know. I want people my age to know this shit, man, because first of all, man, I don't want to speak about it, but student loans, man. Ooh, for PPP loan, man. I'm just thinking what they're gonna do. Those the future of slaves. Like, what's
Yes.
the next? You understand me?
What do
The
you
student
mean?
loan was made. It was I did I
Correct.
not made. It was like it was during the '60s to make people go to college. You understand
Correct.
me?
Yep.
What's the
Well, you
new
got to
way?
remember
What's the new
this
way
a
to
new
like?
economy started. We need enough slaves to last another 100 years before the next economy like this. Like what happened 2020?
Exactly, but I want
This
to.
is not going to happen
Hmm.
again. We're going to be dead by the well, I'll be
Yeah,
dead.
for
You'll be
sure.
really old.
No, no, man. It's a hunt. Do you know it's a hunt? No, man. Who
No,
knows?
hey, I'm gonna say 80 between 80 and 100, 80 and 100 years. I'll be dead. You'll be really old.
Is I want to know what's the new economy like. You understand me? Like, it just we will see over due to time, because it's like how you say it's true. It has started,
Mhm.
but man, COVID has taught me a lot, man. Jesus Christ,
Yeah, man, we got to wrap this
people.
up, man. It's almost 3 hours, 30 minutes, man. I appreciate it, Gabriel. Thanks for jumping on,
All right,
man.
man.
I love the talks, man. I'm glad. I love to hear your stories, man. They be cracking me
Yeah,
up,
man.
man.
It's crazy, man. All right, man.
All right,
Take care, man.
all right. Thank you.
Nada, man.
All right, you guys. We're gonna wrap this up, man. Appreciate you all. I got some deep things I'm gonna talk to you members only about that. Nothing negative, just the kind of things I've been going through as far as my evolution of just learning more and more, just talk to you guys about that. Hopefully help you along with your journey. Like when you guys are coming out of the debt matrix, fresh out of the debt matrix, just learning, because you got to take this stuff in baby steps. It has to be spoon fed to you, because I don't know why I'm hiccuping so much. It has to be fed to you in baby spoons, because if it happens too much, man, it will literally make you go crazy. It will literally make you go crazy. It cannot happen at once. It's just so much to take in. You got to unlearn. You got to unlearn what you've been taught all these years about credit and then relearn. Crazy. Well, you guys have a good one. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Until next time. All right. See you later.